everyone else in the Black Bulls has more or less been identified as a GOAT nigga that doesn't try hard. Like, you have some arcane stage magic and you just don't do shit with it, or you didn't realize it was as broken as it was. Magna is the only nigga in there who really, like, accidentally got put in that bitch. Like, honestly,
ain't got no background, no nothing.
In the perspective of that world, like, Magna probably shouldn't even be in the Black Bulls based off of how that kind of worked out. He's the only regular nigga. Like, he's the only nigga that can come up at the end of the story and say, like, I really got it out the mud. Vanessa, privilege. Fucking Henry, or my bad, what's do with the sister Gauch? Privilege. And no matter who you name, it's privilege there in some way, shape, or form. Like, whether it's magic privilege, royalty privilege, whatever the fuck, they got some backstory. Magna's the only nigga. He's a soccer ass nigga, bro. From the dirt, from the mud, banging with top tier motherfuckers.
Got it out the mud.
We must pay homage to him.
Yo, before we get into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. That way you can get notifications for all of our latest uploads and other content that we put on the channel. Thanks for watching. Now let's get into the video. 3, 2, 1, clap. Hey, welcome to the AfroTaku podcast, episode 48. I'm Mr. Good Guy, aka MGG, and I'm joined here by my co-host who will introduce himself starting right now.
Hey, it's Player 5. It's been a while, fools.
It's been a minute. What's good? It's Jugger.
All right, jumping right into story time. I'm going with a story time from this month. I'm calling it 17. So,
Okay. Scary start. That's okay.
So, I was in Vegas a few weeks ago to get married, and I got a new job, whatever. So, I've been, in therapy and talking to people, and my therapist's like, yeah, you got to take some time for yourself, like have some fun or whatever. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll try to have some fun. So I said, I shouldn't have said her name, whatever. My wife, I said, hey, we're going to have some fun. Like, I know we're only going to Vegas for 2 days, but like, let's try to have some fun, right? Like, let's splurge a little bit. Let's get a little nice hotel room. So we decided, because last time we were in Vegas, we saw the Cosmopolitan, and it was like, it seemed like more for our vibe of people. Like, they had food in the building that was open late, as opposed to the other hotel where it was just like nothing to fucking do. So we were like, all right, we'll try to stay in the Cosmopolitan. It was a little pricey. So I got a room there, and we get to Vegas. The flight to Vegas was any typical flight, just long or whatever, but the problem starts once we finally get to the fucking hotel. First, we get to the hotel, and we try to check in. I've never experienced such a long check-in process in my fucking life. Like, really? The line was not optimized whatsoever. First of all, there was like 4 kiosks, and then basically people kind of made lines to each of those kiosks. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll, pick the shortest line. So I picked the shortest line. We're waiting. People are going up. They're slow really for no reason, because you're just checking niggas in. Like, I don't know why this line was so slow, but I'm seeing people having conversations that were like 5 to 10 minutes long with the like counter person to check into a room. I'm like, what? Like, what are y'all fucking possibly talking about? So we get through this line. And then finally we're getting up to the point where like we'll be the next up, right? We're looking at the counter people. Then magically this lady comes from nowhere and decides, hey, I'm supposed to be managing this line now. So I'm going to pick which one of you guys go to what teller, because this was needed. So because of that, people that were behind us, first of all, we don't go up next. And then like 2 people that were behind us that moved to other lines end up going in before us. Wow. So we end up waiting. These like 3 Hispanic guys are talking to the guy that ends up serving us, and they're taking like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So finally we get up to the damn line. We're talking to the dude. He gives us some water. he's just like, trying to be nice. How's your day going? I'm giving this nigga straight one word answers. Like, I was completely over it at this point. Like, you know me, I'm more of like a people pleaser type. So I don't usually give people attitude, but I was really over it. So I was just like, nah, yeah, nah, yeah, nah. Finally, he gave us our room key. Why did this take 3 to 2 minutes? Like, the fact that it didn't explain why it took 5 to 10 minutes already bothered me. So now we're like heated. And I tell you all this to get to the next part of the story. So now we spent an hour there because we came there like, Vegas time is different. So we're there maybe like 10 o'clock Chicago time, but really it's like 7 o'clock their time or some shit. So we're trying to figure out food and like how we gonna chill for the night because we getting married the next day. So we like, fuck it, we gonna have some fun. Right. So that wasted an hour of our time. So now it's like 8 o'clock. We walk over to the elevators to go to our room. I get in the elevator. That process also took a little bit of time, but I get in this fucking elevator. I pick my number. This white lady comes into the elevator and yells out 17. Now, most people may not understand why this bitch yelled out 17, but I'll explain it for the non-black people or non-racially aware people. This white bitch thought me and my wife were fucking bellboys in this goddamn thing and felt like yelling out 17 was going to get her number pressed on the elevator. Jesus and Christ. I didn't even look back at this bitch. When I tell you I had the stillness of a rock in that moment, she said this and not an inch of my body. I said, white bitch, you're not getting shit from me. I don't know who you were talking to, but I knew it was my body immediately. She wasn't talking to me, bro. So I was like frozen in time. And I was just like, who is this bitch talking to? And she said it again. And then somebody pressed that number. It wasn't me though. Cause I was just like, and I was just sitting on that shit, like pissed off. Someone also did it to me again later, and I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, yo, that was so.
That's
so
crazy.
That's just kind of you're. I can't.
Well, you on mute.
Clarify.
I'm like, don't you got to walk past the numbers to get in?
Yeah.
Like.
Yep. And then we weren't even standing by like the thing. We were like kind of like to the back edge of the elevator. She came in and said 17. I said, like I was proud of myself that my body was like, I'm not reacting in any way to that racism, bro. Like, I really didn't move. Like my body was really like, who the fuck is she talking to? So,
my God.
Yeah, so that shit happened, and I was just kind of like,
damn.
All right. And it took everything I had because at that day I was already like over it. So it took everything I had to just not look at this lady and be like, oh, this is going to turn into one of those moments they record on social media, because I was going to curse that bitch out. Like, man, what gives you the right to come into an elevator knowing your hands work and ask somebody loudly to press a button for you? Bitch, you could have pressed that button when you came in. The fuck is you looking at me for? Who do you expect to do this for? I've never seen... Like, my thing is, it's the disrespect now to, like, usually when I go into an elevator, I think most people do that. You'll just ask, like, hey, what floor are you going to? You know, just to be nice, courteous. Nobody asked that question. She felt entitled to somebody doing that.
Motherfuckers like, just waited in line for an hour.
Right. I'm like, yo, you felt entitled to getting a nigga to press a button. I'm like, bro, fuck you, bro. I'm done. So,
that's crazy.
That's my story.
Issued a command. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that is a good story time. I hope the rest of y'all Vegas trip made up for that.
It was better the next couple of days.
God damn, bro.
That first night was tough. It was a struggle, but it got better.
Okay, well, on to the decent news this week. So I mean, yeah, a bunch of shows dropped since our last meeting. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Invincible, Mortal Kombat, Godzilla, Yasuke, Demon Slayer, and apparently Tokyo Revengers, which everybody sleep on. So, I mean, yeah, I guess we start at the top. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, thoughts?
All right, I haven't finished the last episode of the season.
That's the firest episode.
Oh, is it really? I was waiting on it. I felt it was going to be good, but overall, I would say I would give it a solid B, maybe B plus as a show. I actually was very surprised that Marvel tried to take on the racial aspect. Like that whole Black Captain America thing, I thought was dope. I appreciated the scene. I liked it. I wasn't a big fan of like how dumb they were with Zemo. That shit kind of like bothered me. It seemed like every episode he pretty much found a way to like kind of escape if he wanted to. Like they were kind of done with that. And then fake Captain America, bro. That guy.
I loved him.
Bro, I can't tell you like I don't remember what episode it was, but like the episode after he does that social media moment thing and loses Captain America stuff. But the scene after that in the next episode where it's like they're like, yo, give me that shield. And he's like, no, I was like, this nigga is about to get his ass whooped. Like I was like, this is some Mark and Invincible shit. He's about to get dragged. Even though it wasn't as much of a drag as I would have hoped, that was rewarding. So that's why I kind of forgive them for that, because I was like, I was sick of this nigga anyways. It was nice to see him get his ass beat finally.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I feel like if they was trying to kill my mans, he would have got his ass whooped, boy.
Yo, yeah.
I was like, because I done seen Bucky at max efficiency, you feel me? We all see him when he was Winter Soldier and about. I'm like, my man fought Falcon, Cap, and Black Widow at the same time. My man, if he wants you dead, you'll be dead right now.
They were straight marking his ass too, because it was like a couple episodes before with the Dora Milaje. They straight bodied his ass. Like, they were like, that shield don't mean shit to us, nigga. What?
like, bro, and if you think about what that means, it's like, bro, so the moment I saw that, I was like, these two white men bet not try and use this vibranium against these black women. Like, bro, this shit is through our clothes, nigga, in our feelings. We have vibranium in our hair. Nigga, you have a frisbee in the arm. They turn this shit off. Boop, 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 boop. Right on, bro.
He's like, I didn't even know you can do that.
I'm like, Falcon, I hope you know them wings the same way, bro.
Right.
Play around if you want to. No shit coming off. Man, I was like, bro, that was just the dumbest thing. I'm like, and Black Bucky, bro, you knew better. You as soon as them Dora Milaje walked in, I was like, hey, this ain't me, bro. I signed up to shoot kids, not these niggas. But man, no, I loved the show. I thought it was fun. I am also surprised they tackled racism and shit like that. Tuskegee air experiments, RIP to them dudes. Yep. Yeah, no, I liked it. I liked the end. You ain't see it. I mean, my nigga, that's on you. He come through full Captain America out, and it's clean. His suit clean. He used the shield and the wings in tandem. It's just clean. That's all I can say. I'm like, he went from like when Falcon on the field, I'm like, ooh, I hope this nigga don't kill him. Right. To like, oh, okay. Woo, Falcon.
He can hold his own.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like,
does he get a super soldier serum or no?
No, he don't get.
He's still just regular nigga.
He a regular nigga. But he got a suit made from Wakandans. Oh, so like that's all you need, bro.
That's all he needed. Yep.
T'Challa really just a regular nigga in the suit, bro. Yeah. But like, yeah,
that's all he needed.
Yeah, that's all he needed. He got the Wakandan wings with the shield, all that shit, vibranium. My nigga, good. He good.
All right, I'm hyped. I'm about to watch it today.
He clean now, but the only thing I don't like is that in this thing, obviously he was riding like the, I'm trying to be the pacifist in this whole situation, like the deal maker. So he wasn't throwing the cleanest of hands. He was throwing like I'm trying to save everybody hands. And it was like, oh yeah, bro, I want to see this nigga like go balls to the wall against a nigga. Like, we get it. He the good guy. You know what I'm saying? But he threw medium hands at the end of the day.
The peaceful martial arts.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The Boondocks. You remember that episode?
What?
I know what you're talking about.
Who?
You ever seen the bus boycott episode of the Boondocks?
I can't remember it.
It was like it was in the last season of it. It's like this guy who's supposed to be kind of like a Martin Luther King-esque person, but they were doing these bus boycotts, and Granddad was having like a flashback. But he practiced these peaceful martial arts. So like Granddad, like the riot started and Granddad was whooping people with his belt and he was like fighting niggas. But what he would do is like before something bad was supposed to happen to him, he would just like softly catch their head. So he would like punch somebody, they about to fall on the concrete and bust their shit. And he would just like cup their head and lay them down.
I do remember that, yeah. That's basically what this is. The reverse of gunmetal martial arts is what this is. He was not applying maximum force. But like, I think it was cool. You know, I wish Bucky would have got more shine in character development. All his character development was in a book. But I mean, like, as a black man, I'm also happy because I told niggas from the jump on this podcast, I didn't really like Black Panther. You know, RIP to my mans. It wasn't for me. Falcon is for me. I fuck with this nigga as a hero. He's my favorite black hero. Captain America.
If we were decent rating it, what would you give it?
I gotta give it a decent plus.
Okay.
Decent plus. It depends on what you like. Actually, for the masses, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a lit. But like, I don't know, I enjoy critiquing things like this, and so for a nigga that watch this type of shit all the time, decent plus. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, but it was definitely fun.
Yeah, no, I think I echo that exactly. Like, probably for the masses, this would be considered a success in terms of like the shows they're trying to roll out in this Marvel thing. And then like for me personally though, it was like a decent plus. Like I was definitely in tune to episodes, but it didn't keep me coming. Like I wasn't at the edge of my seat for every episode, so it didn't pull me in that way. But it was a solid watch. Plus, I ended I'm gonna end the show. But I ended the show with minimal anger as compared to WandaVision, where I was really just pissed off at this white bitch's privilege the entire time. Like I was like, yo.
Yeah, at the end of WandaVision, I didn't feel completed.
Yeah.
I felt completed at the end of this, you know?
Oh, okay, good.
Like they finished their story. And WandaVision, I was like, yo, that bitch just walking off. Like, I get can't nobody really stop her, but at least if some nigga would have been like, hey, Wanda, could you stop? And she kept walking, I would have been like, hey, that nigga tried, bro.
Exactly. And I felt like it was just good enough, and this is not watching the end yet, so I mean, things may change, but I doubt it'll change that much. It did a great job of episodically telling a movie, because that's basically Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the movie. If you think about the way it played out, it would work great as a movie. May not have pulled as many people in as some of like the other Avengers movies, but doing that, they really did a good job translating it to a show that people could watch. Where WandaVision, like you said, it didn't really felt like that. Like at the end of it, it kind of felt like it was missing something, or a movie that needed a part 2 kind of thing. It just kind of left you hanging. But yeah, no, I definitely will watch a season 2 of that. Not even having watched the end, I think it'll be good. Yeah. Plus their dynamic also. I gotta give props to the funny as well.
Yeah. I gotta put respect on my man James Bucky Barnes. That man went to Africa. It was like, I want chocolate, baby.
Hey.
I don't want nothing else. Went to Africa once. Because in the last episode, he get to come to the cookout. You know what I'm saying, bro? Hey, that man, he know what he want. He want him a sister. Thinking in day old oatmeal, bro. He know what he want.
I know,
and that's why I'm like, bro. A white man born in the 1920s is like, fuck it, I want to be a black woman.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
That's funny. That shit kill me every time.
Yeah. I mean, sad part though is that I won't even go too deep into this. It's like white man with trauma. Of course, a black woman will take care of you, but it is what it is. Ain't no white woman understanding that traumatic experience you went through. They're like, nigga, what you crying about for again, nigga?
Your 100 years of pain is over. Get over it.
You can learn from this experience. Like, no, nigga. Anyways.
On to Invincible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll have to save some shit for Mark at the end, my full Mark smoke. All I will say is, one, I really enjoyed the season. Mark getting his ass beat every episode has to be some of the funniest TV I've ever seen. Shout shout out to Battle Tiger or whatever the fuck that nigga name was in like episode 4 or 5, because that was an ass whooping I had to watch twice and was shocked both fucking times at how demolished this nigga was. But once again, Mark, you need some boxing lessons, and I'm very disappointed that your dad didn't teach you how to throw hands, because it just is a damn shame at how you can't throw hands. Like, that shit kind of bothered me.
Imagine finding out you got the power of a god.
Right.
And you still getting flexed, nigga. You getting beat up worse than you was getting beat up in high school when you ain't had no powers, bro.
Right. And I'm just like, the fact that you're damn near like show the Invincible name, because you know how they love to do that every episode. But the fact that you're damn near invincible, and they basically in every episode show you that you can still get your ass beat until unconsciousness. Like, you'll see them beating this nigga until bruises show up in his body. I'm like, he's technically indestructible. Well, he's close to very indestructible, I would say. And if you saw what his dad goes through, it took a while. Like, the whole Justice League took him a minute. That was I would say, like, maybe the first time.
It was the first episode.
Yeah, that was the first episode. Sorry, but like, I think that was the first time I saw Omni Man in that form of struggle, and I don't think I really saw anything like that since. So I was just like, damn, for that to be Omni Man, and then you're his son, and then this is what's happening. I was just like, what is your point? Like, I was like, you were right. You shouldn't have got your powers. Just be a high school. I gotta ask
this question. Mm-hmm. How many times would you have gotten your ass whooped before you change your name from Invincible? Because I ain't gonna lie, if I came out with superpowers, I'm like, yeah, nigga, my daddy like Superman. My name Invincible. First time a nigga fold me, I'm gonna be like, all right, I was asking for that smoke. My name is Strong Guy. Now,
my thing is, if I wasn't caught after the first fight, Battle Tiger would have been the one where I'm going into retirement. See y'all niggas later, bro. I'm done. That name is retired.
Yeah, I'm actually not even. I feel like, bro, before even Battle Tiger, like the alien niggas, I'd be like, bruh, I'm not invincible. or like Buddy that came by just to come beat niggas up. Really, that was like, yo, I'm just here every now and again to throw hands with nigga. What's happening? I'm like, bro, I'm good. My name's regular nigga. All right, like, fuck it.
Joe, just call me Joe.
Wait, so I mean, like, okay, let's pause for a second, because I was thinking this show is completely different than what it actually is. Like, full disclosure, obviously I haven't watched it, but so we got the main character who's pretty much the spawn of, like Superman. You know what I'm saying? Yet in his superhero upcoming rise, homie just getting straight folded.
He's not a good hero. There's hero with less powers than him that are better at heroing than he is.
The only reason he in the game is because he got Superman powers.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine being like, oh shit, bro, we got little Superman on the team. Right. His name Invincible? Oh, he must be tough. Right. And that nigga just get drugged all day. Up and down the field, bro.
I mean, is it even like logical? Like, does it make sense in the sense of like, bro, you got so many powers, you really should? Or it's like, you know what, based on what we're seeing, it makes sense.
Every time he get his ass whooped, it seemed believable to me. Because it'd be like, all right, he got the strength, but then they also make a point like he don't really know how to use his powers like that. Yeah. Like, I mean, I wouldn't even say my man can truly fly until like the third episode. Mm-hmm. He still be fucking shit up for a while. So it's like, yeah, I would put that nigga out there to get his ass whooped. Because I'm like, bro, at least you can take it. Anybody else be dead.
Yeah. So homies
get tired off you.
So as far as like a similar activity, what I'm hearing is that like he's a failure Deku, even low key.
I can't disrespect Deku by saying that.
Damn.
Deku got heart, bro.
That's true.
Damn, homie don't even got heart. Like,
my thing is like not
a regular nigga. That hit like 17 and got Superman powers.
Yep.
I'm not super smart. I'm like just like middle of the ground. Like I ain't got hands, bro. Like I'm a regular nigga.
Yeah. Think of like if they just went into the My Hero world, closed their eyes, and was just like you. Yep. you're Superman now, like that type of shit. Like no, like Deku at least was like, I want to be a hero and I have no powers. To get there, but like I can still be a hero. This nigga doesn't. There's like there's never a comment about how great his heroing was in any situation. Arguably, he makes most of the situations he's in worse because he's super powerful.
Deku was like, bro, I can't control my powers. Let me figure out a small way to flick niggas, make something happen. Yeah. Invincible is like, I'm going to go out here, break all my limbs, and get folded every fight.
But heroes. It's like even his non-hero best friend, like the whole the gay boyfriend episode, like that thing, like his friend who has no powers probably arguably put in more work than he did. He was getting beat by like things like these humanoid creations that were just like rabid things. Like they were whooping his ass. And like at one point there was like 3 of them on him. And then I'm trying not to spoil it, but basically the thing that saves him was a thing that just became one of those things. So I just found it like really odd that like this guy who just got his human consciousness, probably he's fought in maybe 2 fights, is bodying these niggas that have just been beating your ass like this whole time. It's odd. Okay. I will also say the final episode, wow. The feelings I had from the mindless violence that was going on there, bro. That was crazy. Like, I'll give Invincible points because I usually don't like mindless gore, like the Devil May Cry, over excessive blood, action shit. I'm usually okay on that in the TV show aspect, but they made you feel it. They definitely grounded the chaos that a Superman person who sucks at using their powers can actually do. The final episode like solidified it, but if you watch throughout the series, you also can see that like, because that nigga thought episode 1, like when the first big villain came out, he got his powers like, oh, I'm finna save the day. He did not. Niggas died. Lots of motherfuckers lost their lives. They kind of like were able to just luckily come back from it. So I appreciate their like realistic undertones with like, hey, if Superman was out here in the real world, probably be more of this than that if that nigga didn't know how to use his powers correctly. And Omni Man was a dick.
Yeah. I see, to give you an idea, Jugga, I see this kind of like kick-ass, except instead of being on the street, the nigga like got Superman powers, but he's flopping about as much as kick-ass.
No, I remember that. No, that was a good couple movies. I remember that.
If I had to rate it though, me personally, I don't know. I just got to give it a decent minus.
Okay.
It was interesting and it was fun, but I like superheroes for them being super. The whole like subverted superhero trope, like with Omni Man and shit like that. Like I just got off of what's that shit?
The Boys.
The Boys. I just got off of The Boys. I'm like I watched this shit to like see some campy, happy-go-lucky shit. Like it wasn't for me today. Maybe if I didn't see The Boys in the same year, maybe.
And every episode that Invincible got bloodier and bloodier, my G. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah.
I have to give it a decent as hell, to be honest. Like, I really enjoy watching it. I totally get your point on the repetitiveness of it, kind of like when it comes up like right behind The Boys. I think The Boys is like more of an interesting cast. So actually, I'll give it like a decent plus, because my minus why I dropped it is the world building is my biggest problem with Invincible. I feel like I knew characters, but I didn't really get to know characters. And then they had all of these subplots going on. But then when you get to the end episode, I don't feel like a lot of them were closed in a way that was weird. Like, so like, and then you may want to pretend you're not hearing this, Jacoby, but the robot clone thing, the whole time of that clone story subplot, I thought he got Mark's DNA or Omni-Man's DNA, which I was like, that's a much better person to clone, because then you get the superpowers along with it. You know what I mean? And you can save the day. But then it was just like, no, I just cloned like the shitty nigga because I think that you liked him. And I was just like, what? And then same thing with Monster Girl's powers. It's like the negative effects of like her using it and then losing time. I was like, I wouldn't just be using this for a practice session. Like, I felt like sometimes she was kind of like wasting the power in a way where it should be like, you basically should be someone they call it like only if it's needed. Right,
like, hey, bro, we only calling you because some shit. Because I like once I heard about like I get it, her doing it to get on the team, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like the moment I'm on the team, I told them niggas straight up, like, I'm not using my power unless the world needs to be saved, bro.
Exactly. Like it has to be like legitimate. Like, and then you already have
fucking 3-year-old fucking with y'all,
right? Like turn that shit on. Like, no, nigga. So. Yeah, that was my thing. I felt like they had a good, expansive characters, maybe not enough time to really explore them well, and then like not enough like context / world building for me as far as like making some of the things that went on make sense. Like I kind of got that through like watching YouTube videos to get backstories on characters that I like to kind of fill in some of those gaps. But like the Viltrumite thing, I already knew was suspect from episode 1. I felt like everyone kind of felt that because they made Omni Man act funny, but it's like they didn't really build on that too much, even in the last episode. I kind of got more context from that, from other stuff. So I think probably like a decent plus, but if we're talking like masses wise, I think the people who can tolerate the gore in this show will find it very entertaining. Like it's one that you will definitely want to. I wanted to watch it week to week. I was into those episodes. So yeah.
Move on to the next one.
Yeah, those two you might take the Mortal Kombat con because I tried to watch them and then I didn't. So you could just give your I watched it.
Watch them either. Okay, I watched Mortal Kombat and Godzilla vs. Kong. I'll talk about Mortal Kombat and I'll be super brief. It is what do I want to call it? It's like Black Clover. It is no. It's like beginning Black Clover. I can't disrespect new Black Clover.
Okay.
It's like beginning Black Clover. It is fire trash. Like this is actually a really bad film. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a bad film, but it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Kano's hilarious. You get to see campy martial arts and blood and gore. Like it was fun, but it's actually a bad film. And people, literally when people will be like, oh, it was great, I'll say, how? Can you explain to me how it's great? That's all I want. I don't say, no, it's stupid. I say, okay, how is it great? And then they'll just be like, it was better than the one in the 90s. I'm like, that's not a measurement of success. And everybody knows that movie was ass.
Like, the bar was here and they was right.
I'm like, you can see, so like they hired a bunch of no-name actors who are apparently, I thought when I see no-name actors in an action flick, I think, oh, this person must do their own stunts. Like that's my thought, which means I'm about to get some good action scenes. Right. But that's not what happened. I had horrible action scenes
in the MK movie. It was the horrible. You're talking about?
Iron Fist like.
But like the dude who played Scorpion, he's a famous actor.
Yeah. Them two niggas, the two famous ones, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. The two famous niggas. When they are fighting, that shit fire. You like, these niggas know what they're doing. But guess what? The two scenes that these niggas interact at the very beginning and very end, those are the exact scenes you've already seen in the trailer. There is nothing new. There is no more. Like that was it, nigga. That's all they do, and they don't interact with each other in the middle at all.
Wow.
And it was upsetting. I'm like, could y'all not afford them or something? Like, if you broke, say that. Like,
they look back at the budget after they hired those two. Was like, well, we got
hired loose niggas off the street.
Hey, that Bum, he want to work? Hey, Bum, you want to work?
Shave him up, throw an outfit on him. Like, it was bad, and I don't know who to blame yet. And I haven't heard a lot of behind the scenes shit on it yet. I don't know who to blame, so I'm just gonna blame the whole movie. It was bad. Kano was fucking hilarious. Get that nigga an Oscar. He was funny. Funny. He carried the whole movie, and that's a shame because a fighting flick shouldn't be carried by a funny nigga. That don't make no sense.
No, I heard like Kino and there was another buddy too that was getting mad respect. Buddy with the hat.
Kung Lao.
Yeah.
Kung Lao did not do an amazing job acting. He did not do an amazing job with fighting. He had some pretty funny one-liners, and his set design was good. So a lot of people attribute that to Kano was good. I'm like, I mean, not Kano, Kung Lao was good. I'm like, no, the nigga that designed his outfit was good. Like, he didn't do shit as an actor that was amazing, but he was all right.
Right.
But yeah, if I had to rate this, gotta rate it. Was it below decent?
Decent trash, and then
Decent trash.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a decent trash. It's fun, but if you analyze films, it's a bad film. It's just fun. If we could say Kong versus Godzilla fits into the same thing, honestly, look, sell your HBO stock, bro. Like all that.
Come on.
Because these was their two biggest hits. These was their two biggest hits. And none of them were good. They made their money back. Money-wise, they made their money back.
100. They made their money back off Wonder Woman too, probably.
Yeah, they made their money back on Wonder Woman. It was still ass. Kong versus Godzilla. But the thing is I like about Kong versus Godzilla is like they start out saying, nigga, we're about to be wild. You're about to get what you get. And that's what we get. They just loose niggas boxing. This story don't make no sense. Don't think about his thoughts, bro. This dude, hollow earth theory, nigga. Like that, bro. They like don't think about this shit. Look at these niggas box.
So is Kong sizable? Do they scale Kong up?
Yeah, you know something? I'm surprised. Godzilla won by and large, but my nigga Kong gave that nigga go. They fought. I would count it 3 times. Once when Kong was on the boat, and I don't count that because they had my nigga Kong off the drugs, so he was sleepy. They had him chained up. Then they was fighting in water. I was like, bro, if you don't win with all those nerfs, nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? You better win.
Right.
And then the second time, my man Kong went and got his axe and was like, bro, I'm not here for that.
He got an axe?
I was throwing nasty hands with that nigga. Really, like, for Godzilla to be a big ass laser lizard, he shouldn't have got his ass whooped that hard. You know what I'm saying? Kong and this is why I count that as a separate fight. They had a whole transition. So I'm like, look, then them niggas transition, it's a new fight. Then Godzilla got up and beat the brakes off that nigga. I'm talking about, foot on the chest, stop playing with me, nigga, type shit. I was like, okay, he won that. Had my nigga Kong look like he was about to cry, bro. They had to animate him like that. But yeah, Godzilla whooped that nigga ass, but Kong gave more gold than Kong should have gave. So I'm happy. Overall, I got to give it decent trash plus because it is still bad as a film, but it was more fun than Mortal Kombat. It was fun to watch.
Well, I mean, like in the movie's defense, I ain't gonna lie. Like I know I'm gonna see that at some point, but I mean, before this combo, I was only gonna go into the movie for the boxing though. So, I mean, like, with a mindset like that, would you still give it decent trash?
Absolutely. Because I thought about that as well. They do too much of the human shit. Like, bro, we didn't come for it to... Like, bro, there are like 3 separate human subplots, and you follow all of them through fruition. Like, nigga, I didn't give no fuck about what these things... Every time they would get up, bro, I would, like start... other shit on my computer. He was doing shit. Then y'all get squashed. Like that's what it was like. Like so, I kept that into point. Like niggas, it's an action flick. Right. You came for the action. The action was fire. Unfortunately, they dipped it and surrounded it in a bunch of bullshit. That's what.
They spent too much time on the other plots. That's understandable.
Got it.
All right. I guess now we go on to Yasuke. I have not seen that at all. So
that is one I did recently complete early this morning. First thing I gotta give big ups for is actually there's a lot of things I gotta give big ups for, but the immediate things that come to mind are the score, the soundtrack throughout the film. I definitely spent some time with that as far as the action hits go. It was like a good combo. I don't even know what you would really call it, but like the hip hop tech with also like Japanese undertones, you know, like Japanese flutes and string instruments like that. I thought that was pretty dope in some of the fight scenes. The fight scenes in general were like mad decent. What I was originally expecting was them to go like full on feudal era like Japan as far as like samurai fights go. Like it's just gonna be like more how do you want to say it, like intricate with the animation, like for the actual like real life physical prowess of samurais, as well as like the swordsmanship style, like that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if y'all even checked out like any episodes, but that's not the show, not really. Like that's like the base, but I mean there's magic and mecha in the anime, and I wasn't ready for that at all. But after that opening scene, I was like, okay. I mean, I still F's with it, and it's not
there later. Because so I noticed that in the opening scene too, and that's what kind of made me have a big question mark. I was like,
right. I know, like same thing. I wasn't ready for it at all as far as like the entire show, like period. Mm-hmm. But the good thing that they did, which was scaring me, like that's probably scaring you after the first episode, was pretty much how heavy it was going to play. And it is a significant factor, but not a factor enough where regular mother effers just become nothing, just become insignificant. It's like, oh, here's powers here. If you don't got powers, why are you here? Like that wasn't the feel. Like it like balanced it out to a reasonable scale. Right. So that was good because like Yasuke, as far as like throughout the series, minus like final episode, won't reveal it, but it was just all physical prowess as far as like how he was able to still box with other magical mother effers. So I was like, okay, bet. So like the best way I was able to look at it was I also got vibes from Afro Samurai. Because like he wasn't actually like a magical mother effer in a sense. He was just like really strong and like really fast. And that was pretty much like Yasuke, like with his skill set also. The story was mad decent, especially for 6 episodes, like half an hour or under. You feel like they told it really well, where in the sense like you get a lot for only 6 episodes, where like at bare minimum, it felt like 12, at least in my opinion. Trying to think as far as what else. I don't know much as far as like the actual, historical accuracies / like similarities. Like obviously with the magic and blah blah blah, it's not going to be completely historically accurate. But as far as like as far as like the true relationship between him and Oda, and then the impact that as far as like the culture sense goes of him being black as a samurai, because they played on that hardcore in the series, which is actually great, especially just with everything going on, like period, and America, and then XYZ. Don't want to rehash that right now, but as far as like the racial topics that was hit throughout the series, that was pretty impactful too, if you low-key thought about it, as well as the sex topics, considering they had a woman samurai too, so they even touched on the feminism aspect of it also. So they packed a lot again in only 6 episodes. So I definitely got to give big ups just to the show in general, along with again just the animation and the action scenes one more time. I mean that stuff was like reasonably clean. I would ask for a little bit more action just because of how boss it really looked, in my opinion, but the art studio like went in. So again, big ups to them again.
So what would you rate it?
As far as a rating goes, I gotta give it. I can't give it a lit, but I think a flat decent as hell suffice. Okay. The only thing that would give it a lit is if they like want a little bit more. I feel like if they actually had the 12 eps, I would be able to do so. Just to get like just more content in general. But again, to rehash that the story was told beautifully. But it's just, I don't know. I guess the only thing about it just it didn't give me enough. I was just hungry for more. And based on how they ended the series, they could do a season 2, but I don't think they will. Considering they ended the story like straight up, like just like okay, like based on how they ended it, the second season. There're going to be some elements of BS based on how cleanly they ended just like the season and like with the series. But yeah, decent as hell. Definitely like a good short watch with 6 episodes. What is that, like trip hours? That's definitely worth trip hours.
Oh, okay. Cool. None of us watched the Demon Slayer film, right?
Nope.
All right, so we'll wait on that for the future. I will close out decent news with Tokyo Revengers. So the anime dropped. That's pretty much all I'm letting niggas know. Hey, if you like Erased and you don't know what a delinquent manga is, or you do and you like it, you're gonna enjoy Tokyo Revengers. That's all I'm gonna say now before niggas get hype on it. I don't know if I'm not seeing much of it catching yet, but besides like the people that are already fans of the manga, but if this does catch, I think it can open up the door to, this is action focused, but I think it opened up the door to getting more animes that tell different types of stories. Because I think right now a lot of the hype in the new generation of anime is still pretty action focused, with the exception being Dr. Stone, really. So I see Tokyo Revengers as another thing that can kind of start pushing people into those other avenues of exploration if it hits. And getting more of those projects funded, because I can only imagine what like slice of life, sports, or like pretty much anybody in these other genres that like maybe manga focused, because I'm assuming those almost never get transformed into animes, right? Like there's probably the really, really good ones that do, but on average you just don't get subpar ones that get turned into shit. So, but Tokyo Revengers is really good, so I recommend people watch it.
Speaking of really, really good sports anime, Yuri on Ice.
All right, so on to the anime segment. We'll kick it off with Omni Man versus All Might. We try to speed through it if we can. So what's the thoughts on it? Who are we leaning towards?
Omni Man versus All Might.
Yeah.
I think niggas a little sleep on All Might.
Wow.
I think
I don't even know
the flight ability, and then they go like, "Oh, well, he can fly. He can automatically bang." They're like, "Come on, bro! All Might fight niggas that can fly. All for One can fly, and that nigga look like a thumb now. Think about that."
What's your out of 10 fights, bro?
Out of 10? I gotta say, I'm gonna say for real, 7 out of 10 All Might. And this is why I say it. And look, hear me out, bro.
Wow.
Motherfuckers keep saying all this stuff like, oh, look, Omni Man. Bro, we seen Omni Man get bruised. Omni Man can get knocked the fuck out. We've seen it happen. Them niggas was not knocking a prime All Might out. All them niggas going to bed, bro. He faster than all them niggas. Maybe not that Flash nigga, but like for real, them niggas going to bed. Like, All Might don't even get bruises like that. Like my man's took like Bakugo nukes to the face and be smiling. The only injury we've even seen on All Might is his wound that they can't even show you how it happened because it don't make no fucking sense. My nigga All Might will definitely tank a lot of that shit and then knock this nigga out.
Ooh. No, I gotta go 8 out of 10 Omni Man. I'll give All Might some sleeper dubs. But in my context of the show and like the little outside reading I've done, Omni Man is like, it's just the I don't know if I want to call them feats, but just like the level of heroism to me outscales All Might. So like All Might sitting here taking care of basically Japan within his vicinity, and I'm assuming that was the case in his prime form as well. Omni Man's dealing with planets, bro, and then the fact that like episode 2. Niggas was fucking with his son, and he said, all right, I'm just going to destroy your whole planet in an hour. I just can't see All Might doing this.
He did not destroy the whole planet in an hour. Time is different.
Yes, you're right.
Literally, it could have been like 35 years for that nigga to do that for all we know.
You're right.
Their time was different. So if he'd have did that for real in an hour, I'd have been like, all right, no cap, this nigga's stronger than All Might. But honestly, the only thing that I've seen him do more impressive than All Might is fly. Because All Might can't fly. That's it. Other than that, I ain't saying nigga do shit All Might can't do yet. If All Might could fly, he could take care of the whole world too. But he can't fly. My nigga can't fly. He ain't Deku.
Oh no, I feel good about what I seen Omni Man do. I'm sure it's only going to get bigger. That's the unfortunate. Like the thing about All Might is that Omni Man has time to catch up based off what we've seen from the show. I'm sure if I went and did the research, I could probably prove that Omni Man might even take more than 8. But I'm just going off my show knowledge and a little bit of outside knowledge, which is like, yes, I can agree with your point that maybe we haven't seen enough. But so a lot of my 8 is coming off the potential that we haven't seen. But if I take it based off what I've seen in the show, I can see why you would have an argument there. But my only counter to it was just that scale wise, I think I'm seeing Omni Man doing more as far as like heroism or fighting people or whatever than I feel like I've gotten from All Might. But once again, when you talk about All Might in his prime, I don't really know what he was outside of that one statement from Shock Absorbent Homie, which was like, in 5 punches, I would have bodied you, which I'm like, that's great. Someone that's specifically made to be your opposite, basically, you are still able to defeat. That shit is kind of unfathomable. But then I go like, Omni Man still is kind of Superman.
See, so but that's my thing. When I have this argument or this discussion with people, we are equating him to Superman without seeing him do Superman shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you what now, he not fighting the Justice League because Batman wouldn't have got spilt like that. So he really wasn't beating up the
dark
same
homie.
niggas.
Don't sleep on Dark Batman, homie. Black Batman, homie. He put in some work.
Black Batman did try his best, but he got folded. Like the moral of the story, I think that because niggas definitely came at me like I was tripping for saying but I think yes, I'm tripping if you instantly equate this nigga Omni Man to Superman. Like I get he's supposed to be analogous, but we don't see him do the shit we see Superman do. I don't see a nigga pushing planets around. I don't see it. Right? The nigga can fly really fast. Outside of that one singular ability, I ain't seen this nigga do shit that I don't believe All Might could do in injured mode, let alone what Prime All Might, who we only got like 2 instances of even knowing what that nigga might be like.
Here's a question I'll ask then. And I totally agree with you. I don't think I was equating him to Superman though. So I don't think that's where mine came from. But I will ask this. In a Holding Your Breath contest, who do you think wins?
I don't think I don't think any of them niggas will run out of breath. Like they will kill each other before they run out of breath. I firmly believe All Might could hold his breath for like a year, and I think Omni Man probably could too.
So you think if they had a space fight, they just out there fighting in space, holding their breath
until one of them niggas died? Absolutely. I think the amount of time they could hold their breath for is gonna be inconsequential to how long they fight will last.
I mean, my boy Omni Man flew off. He just flew out the planet. So my assumption when he did that, I was like, so this nigga is holding his breath until he goes where to the Viltrumite ship? Literally.
I mean, looking up this ish, bro. I mean, he has the power of flight, but I mean, this like when you say fast, like homie going fast, bro. I mean, like I know, like I mean, I could understand being like, oh, the power of flight really be that significant of a factor, but if he flies fast enough. That's like power right there, right? I mean, like you the physics guy, so you tell me. But I mean, you don't think? I mean, well, I guess first let's back up real quick. Just out of curiosity, who would you say is stronger, based on what we know?
From what I've seen,
from what we've seen, who do we think is physically stronger to be like dish out a stronger blow? All Might.
I'm gonna say All Might. Now don't. I want every motherfucker that knows. I'm sure I'm gonna have haters. I have not seen the comic book. I know I'm usually the comic book nigga. I didn't know shit about this nigga Invincible. I don't know this nigga. Okay. So I'm only going on what I seen on paper. My man's All Might in a weakened form. Super Drain form punched a tornado into existence. And it wasn't like this is Cap tornado. Niggas was like, no, this is an atmospheric tornado, bro. Like this nigga changed the weather with a punch when he was already completely drained out of energy in a weakened state. So imagine what the fuck Prime All Might would do with one punch. He probably ripped this nigga atoms off his body.
Then let me ask you this: do you think, like with that super flight though, with the physical power increase behind the speed behind it, do you think that would be stronger than All Might?
Okay, so there's my thing. So just flying doesn't necessarily make you more powerful. Flying gives you the ability to fight 3-dimensionally, right? Which is a huge advantage. But speed is speed. All Might can move super fast. This nigga can move super fast. He might be able to hit that nigga, but we've actually never seen All Might not be indestructible except for one instance, which is off camera. Him getting a grievous wound. On camera, even when All Might had one fist, that nigga didn't really take damage. We've never seen All Might take
the fight for All the fight in All for One. He never
when
really
he was fighting All for One. He was only really taking damage when my man was in skinny mode with one big arm. That's the only time we started seeing All Might bleed. But as far as like taking damage, he got hit, but he really was kind of like, I am here, nigga. Like we don't know how much damage All Might can take.
I'll give you the durability on that for now, but like I said, I just think it's like the way they focused on Omni Man in that show. You kind of like, for example, something like Battle Tiger, right? How do you think somebody like All Might is faring? Do you think he's giving him the actual go, or do you think obviously he's not ending up like Mark level, but do you think he's fending off Battle Tiger? Because I felt like the illusion there was that if Omni Man was there, like Battle Tiger's like, okay, bye. Like that's a sufficient fight. Like I'll leave.
Absolutely, I think All Might would be like, "Hey, bro, you need to get off this planet before I beat you off this."
Right.
And then he's gonna beat that nigga off that planet, like 100%. Like this is my thing. The reason why I don't think Omni Man is so great, I think power output wise, him and All Might are comparable, but durability wise, them Justice League niggas was garbo. And they knocked that nigga unconscious. Them niggas is not knocking All Might unconscious. Them niggas gonna get beat the fuck up and All Might go, I am here, walk the fuck out. I can't see any of them niggas actually making All Might draw blood.
See, and that's my hard part because I feel like outside of Endeavor, which also the gap was still pretty far with that nigga, and I haven't really seen them two fight either. It's like because the gap is so big and that's the similarities they have. Like technically in both their worlds, the gap between them and like the next strongest niggas is huge. Yeah. But with All Might, it's still like I don't feel like the characters in his league, in his low tier league, match up to the characters in the low tier league in Invincible. Meaning like that Justice League, I still feel like will be top 10 heroes, if not stronger, in the My Hero world.
Clapping most of them niggas. It's like so? the Wonder Woman chick and maybe like the strong nigga might be above Endeavor, but Endeavor probably clapping them up. Black Batman getting roasted alive by Endeavor. Bro.
Sure,
Black Batman ass.
That's not you can't pull Black Batman out here. But like, yeah, I feel like the Mortal chick, the Wonder Woman copy. There was like they kind of split Martian Manhunter's powers into two people. There was like that elastic person, and then there was like a person who could do the phasing, I believe.
Them niggas were ass.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I still think they would bust top 10. Beat Endeavor, no. Bust top 10? Come on, bro. Do you see who we have in the top 10 of the heroes?
Do you think that Stretchy Homie or Invisible Bitch or the Speedster nigga or the Fish nigga, do you think any of them niggas even better than Mirio?
Bro, we got Laundry Hero Wash in the top 10.
Let's go.
Stop disrespecting my nigga right there. All right. Laundry Hero Wash is a survivor of one of the deadliest events in human history.
Because my thing about the top 10 heroes, like, and why I give them more, like, why I give the Justice League there more support is that I also look at, like, technically they were that world's greatest heroes, right? Do we agree with that? Mm-hmm. So I look at, like, the powers that I see from the people that are alive after them, and I go, technically, these still are, like, they're not on par with these Justice League niggas. So I have to look at, like, Monster Girl and think, okay, she's not comparable to these niggas. I have to look at Robot Homie. I have to look at Adam Eve. I have to look at those people who I think are, like, these are some pretty decently strong powers, and go, how does that compare to
that in a world? It's not just about your skill either. It's kind of similar to My Hero that it is a political thing. It's if you work with the government, because Omni Man really the strongest hero, but he not on the Justice League. Right. He don't work with them niggas. So yeah, I think there are probably some cold niggas out there that don't fuck with the government too. So I don't want to call them the best. They are the best that the earth can muster that would comply with the government, which we could imagine is not the best heroes, period. So I'm like, them niggas good, but like they didn't do anything that was so great that would make me put them on the actual Justice League scale to then start scaling this nigga Omni Man. Like I think Lobo from the DC world would come down and slap the fuck out of Omni Man. and be like, "Oh, nigga, you're not
That's-
Superman. Sit the fuck down."
That's not fair because he also slapped the fuck out of Superman before.
Yeah, but he slapped the fuck out of Superman when Superman playing. Bro, that's the thing with Superman villains. They slap that nigga when he playing. When he like, all right, nigga, get off my planet. He one-shot these niggas. So like, come on.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm just looking at the top 10 heroes. We got the nigga that retired, so I'm already gonna assume that the Trash Justice League can body this nigga. But under the hero that retired is motherfucking Dragon Bitch. Like, she just turns into a dragon. Like, you gotta, those two niggas you said was shitty. Even
She can body the stretchy nigga. What that nigga do?
But arguably, Batman probably could figure out Black Batman could probably figure out a strap for Dragon, homie. Right? Laundry Hero Wash, I'll just leave an asterisk because I'm not going to go into the pro argument about him. Kamui Woods is actually someone that they probably would have, some of them, like the weaker niggas, could have
Kamui
a tough time
Woods
with.
better than they stretchy nigga. He's on their team. If Kamui Woods in that world, he's on their Justice League.
Okay.
And that scales down how strong these niggas really are right there.
Shield Hero Crush.
He's not making it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he get by, and technically he's over Kamui.
Okay, but that's just on votes, though.
Okay, Hawks.
Well,
that's the other one.
Hawks is on their team. Main member.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Oof. That's tough. It's hard to believe.
I would replace him with Black Batman. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying Black Batman. I would replace the Astro bitch, the Astro woman,
the one that can phase.
Yeah, I would replace her with Hawks. Think about what Hawks does, bro. That nigga is like, he is very useful. He's one of the fastest people on the court.
Also, yeah, Flash homie, bro. We can't sleep on him because I don't think we put respect on him. I think he'd arguably be at the level or over Endeavor. He's got to be. He's a speedster, bro.
No. See, no, once again, we take in the Flash. The Flash is a speedster. This is a nigga that's fast. Okay?
fast. He's a nigga that nigga was, I mean, he had to do some finesses there because he was he predicted that Omni Man was about to attack them, so he kind of helped them out. Omni Man had to take that nigga out first. He was bruising the fuck out that motherfucker to death.
So work on that nigga.
Yeah. So
but that's the thing. All Might would not have got hold by that. He'd have been like,
All Might wouldn't. But that's why I said he would be at or above Endeavor. I don't think he would be below that though.
I will put him in top 10 for this reason. From Vigilantes. What's his name? Knuckle Duster used to be in the top 10 when he had super speed. So a nigga with super speed would be in the top 10.
Hey, he gonna body Hawks. Fuck that. You can't tell me otherwise.
No, this nigga fast nigga not body Hawks.
What? How not?
Hawks is fast as well, and then also he not
speed fast. I'm not even putting flash strats on homie. There's no way Hawks is as fast as that nigga is.
Here's the thing.
I mean, flight. I mean, like they gave him some like pretty strong,
pretty fast.
It was either stats or fuck. What did he do? He did the. Remember that scene? He was going up against Double Buddy, and homie like went around the entire building or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, homie did that like quick.
I was gonna bring that exact one up, Jugga. I'm gonna wait until that gets animated though, because that could just be a manga issue.
Speed is hypersonic plus.
Oh,
them niggas ain't my gods. I saw my mans go from one side of this thing to the other side in a less than a panel. Hey, my nigga.
I'm just saying that's what we got. I'm about to look up the speed feats of dude on the. I guess his name is Joseph.
And Hawk's got strats too, low key. So
they just say superhuman speed.
And he ready to off a nigga.
Also facts.
You said what?
He ready to off a nigga.
I guess they're not giving me no context on my nigga's speed.
I mean, I would agree with the speedster breaking the 10, but yeah, Hawks and Endeavor, that's kind of close. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know him. Like, mind you, you could tell me as far as like really how fast he is, but I'm just saying at least don't sleep on Hawks at a bare minimum. I'm
not sleeping on him, but I'm just saying like a nigga whose thing is speed versus a nigga who's not. He
wasn't that fast, my nigga.
I wonder if he's faster than Ingenium. That would be my goal. Because if they still cap him against Ingenium, I guess Ingenium is like a speedster in their world. If they capped him against him, then I would say, like basically if they went out of their way to make a statement that Ingenium is still faster than Hawks, then I feel like that's what I would use for my
Ingenium's slower than the crawler now, so he definitely not fast.
Oh, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting.
Anyway.
So Ingenium is slower than the crawler, and the crawler is slower than Endeavor, which these are both things we've seen. And Hawks was way faster than nigga Endeavor. Hawks sped Endeavor up, so I think that's fact.
That's true.
Anyways, I'll wrap it up with I'm still sticking by my 8. I do see my eyes are more open to that. It's not a total curb stomp in All Might's world, but I'm 150% sure that all we need is maybe another season, or I could just Google fucking Omni Man, and then I'll have like the evidence I need to say that it's over with. But
I will accept that I have limited information about Omni Man, and he may be stronger than originally seen. But as long as niggas put respect on All Might in this fight, I'll take it.
All right. All right, so next one, we'll jump straight to AOT being a mech anime. I think we can skip those other questions because I know we got some meat in manga. But yeah, so I just saw this TikTok and I want to get niggas' thoughts. I know Jacoby's a big mech anime fan, but basically, Attack on Titan is a mech anime. Child soldiers are one of the themes across mech animes that is present in Attack on Titan. You can argue that the Titans themselves are some form of mech in a way, or you can parallel them to mechs, and also the political aspect, like 3 themes that are pretty common in mech anime. So what is the group's thoughts on that?
You want to start, or I can either way?
No, but it sounds like you look thirsty. Go ahead, bro.
All right. I will say this. I think the moment I heard that, which was like literally today, I was like, absolutely. Everything just boom, snapped together. I'm like, yeah, it's a mech anime. Because so if you consider Guyver to be a mech anime, which I think everybody would consider Guyver to be a mech anime, it's basically a bio-mech suit. It come out of nowhere, out of the person's body, and creates a mech suit. Just like a Titan, only difference is it looks more robotic and blocky.
Sure.
So absolutely, Titans are mechs, and Titans are like the Gundams compared to like
literally, bro. Literally, bro.
I'm like, yeah, bro. The Titan shifters are basically just like that. Like, yeah. And then they even equated to technology at the very end. Spoiler alert, if you ain't got to the end of one of the best animes out there, fucking leave. And I don't give them often. But yeah, by the end, it's like, yo, it's a race against Titan shifters versus technology. Which one is going to be better? Like, it is literally being compared to nuclear devices at this point. That shit, a mech. And I ain't beat that. It's a mech anime.
No, straight ditto. Like, literally the only difference is simply that the Titan origin isn't really technology oriented. That's the only difference. That, like, the actual sources doesn't really come from, progression of tech. Granted, tech has in a way made Titans better. Kind of.
We've never got the answer to the the little spine thing, what that thing is.
The what?
You know what I'm saying? The little spine thingy that
they didn't show the backstory with the Ymir.
I mean, they talk about where it came from. I read the manga. I don't watch it.
Right, same here. So I thought they explained that with the whole Ymir stuff.
Okay, they explain how it comes to be, or like how these niggas came to interact it. But do we explain where that shit came from? What it is? Why?
I thought it was just like mutant biology practice.
That's what I thought too.
That's to summarize. That's kind of like I just said. Oh, okay. These people just can't be Titans.
Some gene shit that fused with this one bitch. That's what I got from it.
But the thing that fused, like, where did that come from?
I guess
we never get into that actual part.
Like the origin.
I'm like, and as far as we can be concerned, that shit could come from a mech universe. Mech things.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. That's around. Once that prequel movie comes out, be like the origin of Titans.
Right.
Peekaboo. So, but no, 100% though. Like, all aspects equate to it. So, damn. Yeah, it's a mech anime song.
I mean, so what I would ask from the folks who've absorbed mech stuff, because my mech knowledge goes to SD and like a couple of episodes in Adult Swim. What would you recommend any mech anime that could hold a candle to like what Attack on Titan's done in the story wise, like that people should watch? Because I think we kind of got an adjacent there. So for those people who are like, oh damn, if that's true, then because I've seen a lot of people that are like, you know, enjoy Attack on Titan. And I think what always comes next when you're a new fan into an anime like that is like, how can I watch? They say more anime, but what they really want is more of that. Like you watch Death Note, you're like, how can I watch more Death Note?
This is my thing. I think that people are, you know, humans are fascinated with gore. Mm-hmm. And I think the gory part of it is why people latched on to Attack on Titan. I have not run into a mech anime that brings the same level of gore.
Right.
You will get the same level of violence, but it's like, well, it's a robot. You don't see blood and bones. You don't feel it the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and be the nigga that say as a mild mech watcher that you're not going to find anything that meets that exact same requirements. But if you want political intrigue where some nigga should not in any way, shape, or form come across this dope tech, but somehow this nigga get it, this broke loose nigga get it, and starts a revolutionary, that's every mech anime, period.
Pretty much.
I'm going to throw out Code Geass. I always point that out. That's a solid mech
That's
anime.
another crossover joint, though.
Mm-hmm. Like Code Geass is cold. My nigga Lelouch will put them things on light. Gurren Lagann is always a good one. It's fun. I mean, I'm not gonna say Gundam because everybody know Gundam. So if you ain't watch it, you ain't gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll name those two that are close.
Pretty much ditto to what Player 5 said. The biggest plus that AOT has, as far as like looking at it from like a mecha anime standpoint, is that it gives you the mecha with the human relations of it. Because the Gundam, you see it more technologically based because of also the interstellar warfare and the actual fighting like actually in space. So you kind of, because it's in like a completely different plane that we just don't have a lot of information / relationship with, you're more disconnected and can still like watch said like action or blah and be like, yo, mecha. But bringing it back down simply to Earth, that becomes like the tough part. And AOT was able to do that for you. That said, again, big ups to suggestions. Gurren Lagann as well as Code Geass. If you're looking for the closest Gundams, just to list off a name, would probably be, in my experience, Iron-Blooded Orphans. That does get into like, first off, it's mostly on Earth as far as like the fighting goes, so that's a plus. 2 is newish, so the animation and the fighting is clean. And then 3, it still gives you the human gore aspect that you don't see in a lot of Gundam series. So as far as like the closest Gundam, in my opinion, it's at least Iron-Blooded Orphans, if you want to check out that episode.
I want to throw one more out there that I think has a similar feel. Eureka 7.
That's on the list. That's a classic. That's a classic.
The airborne mech shit.
Mm-hmm. It has a tough female that has to protect a male, but somehow the male is still the main character. They got like a mystical element that leaves you wondering up into the end of the show. And then when people fight, like Jugga just said, it's not on space, it's on Earth, so you get that realism. And they get blown out they mech and start falling to the ground. Like, you know what's about to happen to that nigga. You know what I'm saying? He dead. Then they also do like mini missions where it's like the people and not the mechs. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, the only mech that matters is Eureka. Everybody else can just stay off them motherfuckers.
Yeah, the 2 mech animes that I did watch that were coming to mind, but don't relate to this, were I'll Noah Zero. But that I would say is not Attack on Titan at all. It's more of like a love story kind of thing with mechs attached. But I thought it was decent when I watched it. And then what was the other one that I remember watching? Well, Gun X Sword, which was a show that you don't even expect to be a mech anime, and then turns into some big old mech shit like episode 3 or 4. So that was dope, but also no politics. These are why I like them, because they didn't have the typical like politics and human aspect. I don't know, mech anime, and I'll say this here and then I'll close it out. Is like reading Hulk comics to me. When I started reading Hulk comics, like, and I didn't read them for very long because of this, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a great thing because it's going to be all about the hands. And then I met a bunch of like people in Hulk form, like Abomination, Hulk, like all the swole Hulk things. They spend way more time talking than they do boxing. And I was like, this is completely contrary to why anybody would ever read this fucking series. Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel about Mech. Is like on the surface, you're like, it's gonna be about hands, and then you go like, wait, there's so much non-handsy things to this stuff, and it immediately made me uncomfortable. But it's like, you know, now with this Attack on Titan thing and that revelation, I'm like, maybe I'll give it another shot and just I'm an evolved man now. But as a kid, you watch mech anime expecting like,
that's true.
Yeah, hands, guns, like niggas gonna be throwing shit, but it is not that at all. I'm like, they lied to you.
You bring up actually a really good point that I forgot to mention too, as far as the big difference between AOT and mecha anime, is that AOT eased you in to the political aspects of its show. It came off more as the focus of the Titans. And a lot of mecha anime doesn't do that from the jump. Not really, minus the actual, cover page and just knowing that it is actually a mecha anime.
Except Gurren Lagann. And I think that's why Gurren Lagann made a lot of success, is because it started off being like, oh, these broke niggas found some mechs. Like, what niggas do with them? And then slowly but surely it's like, oh, wait, did these niggas just take over the world? So I mean, it's one that I think that is Jug a good point right there.
So it's gonna be tough out there. Like you could definitely see the similarities 100%, but again, it's just gonna be tough to really find that what do you want to call it? That brother or sister anime that is mecha to AOT. Right. But you can get close.
Mm-hmm. All right, before we hop into manga, I'll just put some respect on some stuff this month. For me, I've been reading a lot of manga, and I'm gonna have to say fuck you to Shonen Jump, but I'll get to that in my goofies. Phantom Seer, Build Kings, RIP. They have both, I guess, ended or whatever. Right when I was starting to get enjoying their stories, I did catch up to Dr. Stone. Hey, bro, hats off to Dr. Stone. Like I knew, I caught up.
I've been wanting to read it.
Oh yeah, I caught up. I'll say that for a show that has like no action, Dr. Stone has like, it kept me like, I knew I was gonna get back into it these few months. I was getting that vibe, and I finally sat my feet down and got into it. Bro, I was nonstop reading those chapters once I got started. Like Senku just be doing it's immersive. That's why I like Dr. Stone so much. Like when I was reading the manga, I was really feeling the situations and kind of like the risk and the tension. But at the same time, what I liked is whenever he made new developments in the show, a lot of the times you get to see the Stone people's reaction, which I think is the most interesting. Because like, for example, at some point, spoiler, he creates some sugary dessert for niggas, right? Mm-hmm. Those people up until that point had never knew what sugar was. Right. So it's like to be able to like imagine tasting sugar for the first time after not having not even knowing what that flavor was. Right. Like I thought they did a great job of like showcasing that this is blowing. Like Senku will have these things in his head where it's like, yeah, this is blowing their mind because they've never had sugar before, and it's like, oh yeah, like that shit is crazy. And those little things make the world so much more like immersive to me.
I 100% agree with you. This thing this been in my head for so long. And I've been wanting to talk to you about for a minute. My nigga Chrome was like, yeah, of a science user.
Oh yeah.
He started doing like little tricks, and these niggas like, bro, like we have cell phones. What are you doing? I was like, bro, that's so perfect. Like, man, Chrome really thought, like, yo, I'm about to blow these niggas.
And that's what he was doing, though. To him, he was blowing shit. And that's why I kind of like Chrome, because it's like Senku's going off of like knowledge that's kind of already been established and obviously adding his own flavor to it. But seeing Chrome develop as a scientist is like way cooler to me, because it's just like figuring out like how you're really doing that shit from scratch. Like he really be doing some of that shit from scratch. Like that nigga was like, he got his mind blown by a dish. Like remember when they did the math contest and he was like, oh, let me teach you about multiplication. Chrome was like, Nani? It's like, it's like shit like that is funny, because it's like that's really how we progress. It's like eventually a nigga was doing that thing over and over again, found that trick, and it just became a thing that drastically changed the world. The unfortunate part is Chrome will come across those things, but it's like Senku's like, yeah. It's like Simpsons did it. It's like the Simpsons did an episode of South Park for Chrome. Every time he come up with some shit, he'd be like, yeah, that's called this. Like he made a digging machine, and they were like, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna call it the blah 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 3000. And he was like, yeah, that's called a drill.
But actually, low-key, I was meaning to talk to you about that on Player 5. Like, as a science teacher, I thought you would be all about Chrome, because you could just look at him and almost like see a student. Like, you're not seeing that at all?
I fuck with Chrome as an individual. Right? Like as a person, if Chrome was on the call right now, I'm like, hey, what's up, my bro Chrome? Like, we cool. But as a useful member of the kingdom of science, he's actually less useful than Suika. Like,
what? Like, bro, that's dirty.
If you were running the kingdom of science, you have an actual war to deal with. I would be like, look, bro, Suika and her ability to gain information is much more valuable than Chrome and his ability to.
I see that. Don't get me wrong.
Did both of you guys finish season 2?
The anime.
I started reading
where does that? Oh, you are okay. Where does that
trying
end?
To catch
the anime ends with Tsukasa pretty much being a homie, and they just sealed him up. So now they're
that
sailing.
I just got to the boat, nigga.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no, some good shit. Okay. Got it. I was just trying to get that context so I know what to say.
See, I ain't know nobody else was reading it. If I knew you was reading it, I would have been like, yeah.
I just randomly picked it up. But so then you got to the Chrome in jail part then.
Yeah.
And then how he finessed that. I thought that was pretty
But he didn't finesse it. Somebody finessed it for him.
That is true.
He got how though. I mean,
This is.
I mean, Tsukasa ain't stupid.
The extent of what he did was, I can make a battery catch on fire.
Right. You're looking at it from your big science brain. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, literally, if all the like non-Stone World people were there and the people that were just born into Stone World were what's in existence, Chrome is a fucking god. Like, if literally only him and Senku had conversations and all that was allowed to be shown to the Stone World is what Chrome comes up with from what he learns from Senku, that nigga be a god. Like, they'd be like, oh shit. Like, Magna to this day still kind of believes them niggas are magicians. Like a little thing in the back of his head, like, isn't that magic shit?
I get you, but like I said, I don't think he is a horrible person. Yeah. I just think with respect to usefulness to the kingdom of science, he's low on the totem pole, but his like seat of power is like, Chrome probably like the fourth next nigga you talking to when something going down. But like his usefulness compared to what the clout he got in the kingdom of science ain't adding up.
So what's your ranking of like, let's just do our top like 3, I don't know, most useful people
in the kingdom of science?
And like minus
besides Senku. Yeah, we'll just take him out because obviously he's the most.
Yeah, he's number 1. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm just gonna go from where season 2 is back. So before Boat Homie come through.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That they add a whole bunch of new niggas and I ain't even really started experiencing what niggas do. Yeah. Kingdom of Science. Do we want to go before or after the Tsukasa niggas join?
I'd say before.
I'll go after. Oh, let's go after.
I mean, if we do after though, then you're incorporating people who are about science. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a little unfair in my opinion.
Like if Tsukasa was still alive, he would magically become in my top 3 of most useful. But technically he's not alive. That's why I wouldn't. But other than that, yeah, I don't think there's any value if we add the Kingdom of Strength. Like, that changes my top 3?
It changed my top 3.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get mine off real quick. Gen, I agree with you on Suika's up there. But Gen to me is like invaluable. Like, and this might be coming from later shit too. But one, he's my favorite character. I just like the shit that nigga pulls off. But in general, those mental trickery shit, he gives me the strategy that I need in the show. Because he just really be like, so I feel like there's a kind of background help that he provides that's like invaluable to the thing. I would almost say the money homie, who's the boat homie that got introduced, but we're skipping that, so I wouldn't put him in there. From the other Kingdom joint, I don't think Kohaku's that useful outside of like she becomes useful in particular moments, but overall she is in the background until they're like, hey, we need you for this specific task. So I would say, like you said, Suika's probably up there because she's the best spy they have so far. And then my third, I honestly would say Chrome. Like you could add a strength nigga in there, but I lie. Because if we're adding the Kingdom of Strength, what's his face? Stamina homie is the best. Because you need a farmer nigga. He's the third most.
No, we're talking about Taiju, right?
Yeah, Taiju would have to be there.
I was like, damn, you're not gonna put
stamina. No, for sure. If we had Kingdom of Strength, for sure, because the stamina thing is invaluable. He's like the perfect farmer type, and you need that in any civilization. Like if you had those 3 with Senku, like they honestly don't need everyone else. They probably could figure.
You go my top 3. Number 1, from a science standpoint, the most valuable nigga who without him none of this shit is getting done is old homie that be
oh shit, I forgot about
that nigga is over again.
He's up there.
You don't got the Kingdom of Science without that nigga.
Oh, you're right. That craftsmanship shit is
100%.
Craftsmanship, homie. Then I'm gonna give Gen number 2 because he come through clutch. And then lastly, my number 3, and it's tough. I won't Suika to be up there, but I gotta go Taiju because that nigga don't stop. Hey Taiju, crush 100 grapes. You wake up tomorrow, he on 100,000. Like, yo, I didn't know you could do that, bro.
Stamina is crazy. That's the thing. Like, if they didn't add the like other people being alive element to it, and it was just strictly about them surviving on their own, I think you could sacrifice like a Suika for a Taiju, and then you definitely, like you said, the craftsman nigga you need. But and you might even be able to take Gen off.
I think so too.
Gen is useful for the inter stuff as well. Like
I think
even about he be negotiating shit.
I think about because we already said like Senku is invaluable, right?
Yeah.
Like so, like what niggas were needed by Senku to live? Like without Taiju, Senku doesn't get to where he is. You know what I'm saying? Taiju carried him for a little bit.
That's true.
Then after that, it was Craftsman homie carried after that, and then Gen did his thing. Them 3 niggas are like, without them, I think Senku's dead.
I mean, I'm gonna let you finish, but I still want to add, at a bare minimum, add a note of significance, in my opinion. The reason why I see the high value of Chrome is because he started out already interested in science as well as his simple extents of curiosity. And I think that plays because of all the ish that he gathered, like just in his own science workshop, that Senku saw value of, needed to know the origin of, and helped him progress as far as his just simple material gathering for everything that he needed with science. And I think you do need a decent knowledge of like the actual area to help out with something like that. And plus, this is kind of further down the line, so not really immediate, but teaching other people science helps when you actually have an end to the society itself, right? And Chrome pretty much is that, what do you want to call it? It's pretty much that bridge builder as far as teaching everyone else science, as far as like a help. You know what I mean? As far as like as far as how to really communicate with them, because you can have all the knowledge in the world with science, but if you can't communicate that properly to the people who you're teaching / who you want to follow in your footsteps, it don't even matter. Right. And I think Chrome helps bridge that gap. So I would say immediately, I get it, but I don't know. I mean, like pretty close down the line, like you don't need a mother effer like Chrome. You know what I mean?
I feel like one of the issues with Chrome is that they put him in the wrong job. Like, I like that he's interested in science, but I actually like the fact, like, which may have been revealed in the manga, or he might have said when he was doing the escape thing, but like the other avenue that they put him in, which is like he's more of a miner. Like, he's good at discovering like new stuff. Like, I felt like if they built that as his strength in the beginning, and then his interest in science was like an aside thing, it would have made him stand out more as a character. But it's more like, oh, he's a scientist, and then like we need to find him a pocket that's not Senku's pocket so that you find value in the character. So, this mining thing. Rather with all the other characters, they come in with these strengths first, and then it's kind of like the science plays out however it plays out. But it's like Gen was like, oh, that nigga's a master manipulator. That's his strength. Like Chrome's, they tried to highlight that, but they should have like really focused on like it's gathering materials. Like that's that nigga's strength.
I think an issue is that they gave Senku too wide of a knowledge on science, right? Like whereas real niggas have like a specialty. Like if he's been like, oh, I'm good with all this tech, but like maybe not plants or something, and then they're like, okay, Chrome can have his thing, but it's like no. I know about plants, minerals, like all that shit, nigga.
It was insane. Like, but the breadth of knowledge and even low key the depth of it sometimes with Senku, which I'm just like, you're still just a teenager. For you to have absorbed all this information, even at a genius level intellect, it still seems a bit unfathomable to me.
I mean, I agree with the simple logic of that, but it makes sense as far as what the show is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty much science genius. Right. I mean, like, exactly, right? I mean, like, he's the sole reason why they have a chance of getting back to, the era of, what do you want to call it? You know, as far as like, the science age, at least as quickly as they are at a bare minimum, right?
Right.
So, I mean, like, it's like if he didn't have that, as far as, I mean, like you said, plot device, but as far as like a show standpoint, like he needs to have that kind of knowledge because no one else, at least as far as the Stone Age is concerned, is going to have that knowledge. Or what I guess they technically could have done, now I'm talking out loud, is that Senku would at a bare minimum have to have an extensive knowledge of people in the science community that they can bring back. But the problem with that low key is the whole age thing. That I think they want to keep everyone around the same age group. And that's where that would be tough. You would need like a genius herbologist, a genius.
They're doing that though. I'll say that. They are doing that because at a couple of times. No, seriously, like what Player 5's talking about, like right now with the boat guy, they're doing just that. Like they needed a boat to go somewhere. So they basically were like, who's a dope boat guy we can get out of? And then they just found someone in their age group that they could revive. And they do that for a couple of other people too.
The boat nigga already my favorite character.
Oh, he's dope.
What I wanted from
did he make Dracos yet?
I want them to introduce a nigga that's like, yo, I'm smart, but I'm not about that nice shit like Senku. I will use my smartness to abuse you, bro.
He's a fucking capitalist.
Yeah.
Did you see?
That nigga made money, bro. I was like, you
got that, bro? Yo, the money shit.
He got y'all niggas taking paper cash, nigga. He was
like, if you pay me some Dracos. I was like, my own currency. I was like,
Big
this
Draco,
nigga made his own currency.
I'm telling you, as soon as he did that, I was like, my nigga, bro. I'll fuck with you, bro. That nigga, he got Senku on some shit. And I'm like, I feel like Senku understand but don't give a fuck. But at some point, like, capitalism will get so strong, it's like, you have to give a fuck now, Senku. Like,
see, but I think that's what they try to do with Senku is they keep locking him in the, like, I just want to do science. Like, that's his thing. I want to be as pure of a scientist as possible. Yeah. So all that other shit that you create, like, I don't give a fuck about your morals, your whatever. I'm just on, like, does it benefit science or not? And if it doesn't, fuck you. If it does, I would fuck. Oh, you rape somebody? Come on in. Like that's really IB. Like
he really do. I can see that nigga Senku being like, niggas care too much about money. I'm going to invent Bitcoin. Like
that's the funny part about it is because even though they kind of show how Senku's ideal still kind of skirts or circumvents those like traditional ideas that try to come back into the society, because he'll always science a way out of it. So when they do the Draco stuff, he science a way to like make it so he's a billionaire. Like, you know, it's like science still wins no matter how you try to do it. Is basically what he's saying. If you make a kingdom of strength, don't worry, I'm gonna make a weapon that makes it impossible for you to like. The nigga made a tank. He was like, oh, okay, all right, strength niggas, let's make a sound cannon. Like whatever ball game you want to play with Senku, you find a way to science that shit to the top. So
no, I definitely like it. Yeah. We've been on this tangent. We gonna
move. Like for real. It started with MGG.
We wasn't even supposed to talk about it, but that's what the show was lit, bro.
It was dope. It was dope. But anyways, well, I'll skip the rest of my stuff and jump straight to like the manga highlights. For time, I'll just briefly say One Piece, thumbs up, doing well. And then we can focus on the two that we all read, which is Black Clover and My Hero. So Black Clover. Any thoughts we wanna share for the manga highlights?
First thing gotta be said on this podcast. Period. My nigga Manga back. I said his name wrong. Magna back. My man Magna back. Hey,
the chapter before his introduction was too hard. Like just him and Zora in the
background laughing, bro.
How's the showboating again?
And this how you know they hard, bro. They had to come through hard because it's like you don't see that type of death and destruction and be sitting in the back chuckling. Like,
yo,
it's a whole first level demon now, and they like, like what?
They just like yo. Oh, I don't know how the fight is gonna end up ending. My hope is that Magna still is able to finesse a dub, but I don't know because maybe Zora has to pull something out of his back pocket to help this finish. But he did say on his manhood that he was gonna fight him 1-on-1. So I'm hoping that means that he's gonna get that dub for real, or else it's gonna be back to Rock Lee shit.
Yeah.
But if he does that, he will be the first anime character in my anime history to officially like earn the Rock Lee like redemption award. Like, I'm a nigga that really ain't got shit and got something to even the playing field, and I'm here.
Mm-hmm. I'm here. All y'all niggas, all y'all keep ass niggas, Rock Lee ass niggas.
Oh yeah.
Finally, a nigga was like, bro, no, I'm back on the scene.
And did it.
They not gonna hold me, and I ain't getting no power boost, nigga. I did it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like the thing that I loved about it is that they allowed him to work within the constraints of that story. The fact that they were still like, nope, you're not going to get rune magic. We're not going to make you a royal. Like, we're not going to do anything in the story to make you any more than a bum nigga. You're going to figure out how to work within those parameters. And he still basically put himself on par with these niggas within the broke nigga parameters. I at least got to give him respect just off that.
And I like that, like, you know, when they would be like, oh, strongest physical niggas, Magna always been up there. He'd be like level 5, like under Veto or some shit. You know, so motherfuckers just like, I guess he do be swinging the bat. But now it makes sense. So like, yo, when you see him bodying niggas, know that we said from day one, he got the hands, bro.
Yo,
all right. So the bare minimum I will do is say good job. You know, you were able to actually, you know, do something against Dante, which not a lot of people could do. And considering from like, you know, your origins, and we saw, you know, your history throughout the show, I got to give you, you know, a reasonable ups considering.
You sound like the nigga that didn't let Falcon get the loan, bro. I'm sorry, but I can't fuck
you know, with all that said, I do got to say that, like, you know, I ain't going. I mean, I saw it, you know, I see the respect they put in on your name, but
draw that nigga Dante.
All I'm saying, bro, is that again, Dante has not been showing out as hard from the get-go, like since his actual intro, as hard as what I thought he would do. That said, Dante got hands too. this ain't gonna be no drag fist fight, okay? Like, man ain't just gonna like roll up in here, give Dante that work, put him to sleep. That ain't happening, okay? He was caught off guard, all right? Like, he literally said, wow, I'm literally like weak in his like head. Like, Magna can't even handle 50%. I know y'all noticed that, right? But anyways. So he was like, oh, I actually just got slapped by a butterfly. That's bad. And he gonna come back with some hands. Zora probably gonna help him, but something's still telling me that these two ain't gonna be the ones to put him down. I mean, like, maybe it's just me being pessimistic and my own views on Magna, but because like me, I'm a big Zora fanboy. Like, I'm about Zora, but it's still like,
really,
it's still
The weakest black boy.
Yeah, I'm saying trap homie.
Yeah, trap homie.
Trash homie?
Yeah.
Wow, y'all
The weakest black
Zora
boy?
trash homie, but not Magna.
Zora's the weakest black bull by far.
I didn't even know why he was there. Like, they needed to give Zora a come up clout. That's why he's there. Like, I feel like he's just gonna have his little moment within this fight, or he's the one who helped him create this soul chain magic.
Bro, Magna was pretty much a literal, pun not intended, a one-hit wonder. Like, from the very beginning. I mean, other than that, what has he really done?
Isn't that all the Black Bulls to a degree?
Not really.
They all have this like come up moment.
No. I mean, like, they literally have like, okay, Magna. What I'm saying is like, literally have one moment where he caught a dub and like really like was a highlight. Everybody else made reasonable names for themselves, in my opinion.
My unfair, like, why I feel like you treating him unfair is that you're not giving him the context give that he deserves, which is that he's a broke nigga. Like, Asta is really lucky and kind of bloodline royal, whatever the fuck, right?
Okay.
Juno, same thing. Now we know it's bloodline royal. Everyone else in the Black Bulls has more or less been identified as a goat nigga that doesn't try hard. Like, you have some arcane stage magic and you just don't do shit with it, or you didn't realize it was as broken as it was. Magna is the only nigga in there who really like accidentally got put in that bitch. Like, honestly,
ain't got no background, no nothing.
In the perspective of that world, like, Magna probably shouldn't even be in the Black Bulls based off of how that kind of worked out. He's the only regular nigga. Like, he's the only nigga that can come up at the end of the story and say, like, I really got it out the mud. Vanessa, privilege. Fucking Henry, or my bad, what's do with the sister Gauch? Privilege. And no matter who you name, it's privilege there in some way, shape, or form. Like, whether it's magic privilege, royalty privilege, whatever the fuck, they got some backstory. Magna's the only nigga. He's a soccer ass nigga, bro. From the dirt, from the mud, banging with top tier motherfuckers.
Got it out the mud.
I don't know. I mean, the only reason I could still say that
Zora too, I guess, is arguably that. As well,
his daddy used to be a knight. That man,
but he was
like,
a weak
if
knight.
Your dad been to college,
I mean, he was a higher
knight of being in college yourself, my nigga. So
I'm just saying, he didn't get. I was thinking that too. I'm gonna give like the biggest because of that simple fact, but just a note on Zora's backstory. I mean, like his daddy was a magic knight that got zero respect. Minus what's his face. So I barely count that, to be honest.
Like father, like son, fuck you mean.
Magna's family has like less than zero perspective.
Right, and that's why I didn't mention it. So like that, in that respect, that's fair. But I just lost my train of thought.
Just give it to Magna. That's
give it to
stop. You know what? Let's talk again in literally one more chapter. Let's talk again.
I'm like, you're so lucky that the chapter didn't drop this week, because next chapter we put all that shit to bed.
I got three questions for the group. One, ask this Devil Union, how do we feel about it? Two, what was it? It was, can we now say Jack is weaker than Dorothy? Three, is Dante an official nominee for biggest disappointment? Those are my three questions.
Okay, I'm gonna give my quick answers. First, Asa's Devil Union. I like it, but I'm also worried because I really like this manga, and this is giving me ending signs. But at the same time, I know how manga work. If they're about to end, like, they'll say it. Like, My Hero's like, look, nigga, we getting there. You know what I'm saying? They'll say something. So I wonder what they're gonna do after, because it seems like he's unbeatable. But that's that. For who is our next one?
Dorothy and Jack.
Dorothy and Jack. Y'all already saw the group text. I'm gonna let the people know now. A certain someone in our group thought this nigga Jack was fourth. Nigga. Thought he was fourth. Bro, garbage, nigga. You're a bum. He's the worst, just like his group. He's the worst. The worst. Don't bring that shit up no more. He nowhere near Dorothy. Don't disrespect her like that. And then the last thing about Dante. I'm not upset because I knew he was a simp ass nigga from the jump. Okay. But I'm happy for Dante because he shut down Rouge. And I was wondering for a long time who would ever shut down Rouge and how they would do it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I hope they don't just do a nigga go like, oh, I'm stronger than Rouge. Like, they're just going to piss me off about her powers. But he was just like, oh, okay, gravity. She can't touch a nigga. She can't rewind a nigga. Cool power, bro. And I was like, yo, thank you. Somebody just showed me. Like, that'd be the shit I'd be wondering about with some of these powers. Like, what if you just do this? Yeah. I've been wondering that with Rouge for a minute. Like, what if a nigga just, like, put her in a box? Like, boop, Rouge in a box. Now what? Right. Rewind that.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my answers.
The last two questions I'll deal with first because it's literally a ditto from player 5. Dorothy, been a Dorothy fanboy since the jump. Don't sleep.
No pun intended.
Next, and then with 3, as far as Dante, yes. I mean, we talked about for a hot second MGG, but it was low key just whoop. Like for Dante, and it was sad. I was expecting a lot more.
This nigga came in looking like he was the main.
He bodied everybody. Like, but what else do you want from my man's though?
I mean, he was supposed to represent. I mean, like, bro, he literally had a crown on his head.
Not the way Zeno bodied him, bro. Zeno came in efficient.
Yeah, boom. Zeno did work. That nigga said, hey, I came here to beat y'all ass and take y'all captive.
Yeah, you know who?
but the way it happened was perfect to me. Because I'm not gonna lie, if the Black Bulls and Yami got folded just like them niggas, I would have been hot. Yami, my nigga. Yami was like, bro, I'm gonna get kidnapped, but you getting folded, bro. And now I'm happy with that. I can't ask for more.
See what I feel like happened to Dante. I'm still noting the biggest disappointment, but what I feel like happened to Dante that didn't happen to Zeno. Zeno got the intel on Golden Dawn, and it was exactly what he expected. Black Clover intel is like polls. it's like election polls. It's like, do you really like who did y'all ask? Because on the surface, niggas who wrote that was like, yeah, bum ass bitch with a cat. We don't know what the fuck that dude. This nigga with mirrors acting weird about it. Like he was like, these shitty ass niggas.
They probably was like, hey, kill the nigga with mirrors first. That nigga cold.
Right? Pulled up, and then he just got these gold ass powers coming out of nowhere.
Niggas surpassing limits.
The thing is that he was doing work though with it too. Like that's why it was so hardcore. He came in knowing nothing, had big claims. Effing like was dropping mad magic, mad power, mad hands. Right. I mean, like he was just showing out on like every single thing, like just everything. And then, but it's like as soon as Yami Asta teamed up, it was just all downhill from there. Like he never had a true redemption from getting got. I mean, like not really. I mean, like, they had him go up against Jack, and Jack didn't really truly show out either. Like if he really showed out and he still dropped him, that'd be a different story. But it was just like. Jack didn't really do nothing that was that impressive. Not really. So it was like he just never had, after that loss, it was just continued downhill.
Jack is a great vice captain to me. I think he should be a vice captain in somebody's squad.
If he was the Black Bulls vice captain, he'd be hard.
Right. I feel like that would give him the proper respect if they didn't set up this whole Yami rivalry bullshit that he deserves. Because it's like his power is dope and it gives him room to grow as like, you know, a non-royal nigga that's coming up. But it's like making him a captain with the team that, like, we've only seen one guy who
is insignificant.
If they replaced Seke with Jack, he would have been a great person for Asta to like have a rivalry with. It's like, oh yeah, I do everything you do, nigga. You still a peasant, you know? Right. But then this would have been like, nah, nigga, no, you can't. But one thing I want to point out real quick, because I know not everybody here watched the anime. watch Dante versus Asta in
anime?
It's decent. Bro, that nigga Dante face when he got hit with that death thrust, that nigga was like, I'm about to die. These niggas could kill me. Oh man, that death thrust something.
But anyway, yeah, to summarize, nomination, I'm in support for that. And then to jump back to question one, as far as the W Union goes, I'm neutral. I'm not really a one way for another. Still think it looks decent, but the reason I wouldn't put it over is that I forgot who mentioned it, but like it got to me as far as the simple fact that it was just kind of dark armor in a way. It didn't have a more like fluid structure to like the energy structure to it. That I was like, okay, that actually could have been a little bit more creative than that. But it's still like, even with the armor though, it still looks decent. It gave me after looking at it a couple of times, it gave me Berserker vibes, and I was like, okay, you know what? I kind of like that. So yeah.
One last thing. I'm sorry to keep this Black Clover section going wrong, but I had to get people's thoughts on this too, and because maybe I was misunderstanding it. Are we getting that like these high level demons have this like absolute dominion power? So like maybe I didn't understand it correctly from the ice and fire demon, but what I got from them was that their ice and fire were like absolute, in that it like almost like you can consider the fire almost Amaterasu like in rules, meaning it burns anything. It doesn't matter what the elemental attribute shit like it can burn water if I wanted to burn water. Like it seems like this is the theme of these higher level demons, because like the word demons was like, my word is absolute. It seemed like what I got from the fire and ice demon is that it was absolute ice and absolute fire, meaning just it didn't seem like it followed the normal conventions of ice magic and fire magic. It seemed like they were saying it just burns whatever absolutely, or it freezes whatever absolutely.
I don't think that is the nature of their magic, more so the nature of like their power is like, because one of them demons was as strong as 100% Dante, and Dante is leagues above any random human. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's only maybe 3 or 5 niggas period that can throw hands on a regular day with this nigga. And then to fuse, what's his name said that they became more than 1 + 1. So it was a Dragon Ball Z fusion, probably like your power times my power. So I imagine that they was just at a level. It was like, nigga, if you not meant for this, it ain't you. It's over with.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that was the part that was confusing me more, is like this power tier at the high level. And it just seemed like the theme I was getting from the 3 demons we've met so far is this, like whatever power they give them, the rules more or less don't apply. Like if you see a nigga with earth magic, you gonna see it's gonna be earth magic times a million in terms of how he's able to use that. It's not following like the normal conventions. It's following some system, but just not like, you're not going to be able to counter them with their elemental counter, if that makes sense. If they're like an elemental mage, for example, because that fire and ice dude, like I don't think an ice mage would have an easier time, even if they were like on par strength wise. It seemed like the fire just did what it wanted to do.
So if it was that fire demon versus Marileona, you don't think Marileona wipes in this nigga?
I think she would get burned. I think that would be the shocking part, is that that fire would be like, hey, yeah, I'm burning your fire. And she'd be like, what? How is that happening? I would also be like,
nigga in the grave.
You think so?
Versus like unfused, just I think what's his name, Rama or something like that. Yeah, I think because I think she playing with that other demon. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to get any more Marileona. We got that one little bit of she going hard, and that's it.
That's probably possible.
I believe
but I think, I mean, considering they're literally saying, I had to look it back just to remind myself. I mean, they do say it burns and freezes everything. Like that was the reason how they got out of their, like, not space. Like, they were able to freeze and burn invisible concepts. I mean, when you take it to that kind of level, I mean, it's like, as far as who would win, Marileona or like one of these guys, that's still up in the air. But I think it would then become arguable to simply say that how to put it? Like it's the extent. It's the extent in the sense of like Mereoleona's max ability using fire is their magic. You know what I mean? Right. So like as far as to if Mereoleona is there or not, I mean like you could argue yes or no, like based on how much clout / respect you want to give her. But I mean, yeah, it seems like that kind of like ultimate like max point that magic can really get up to. Yeah, at least that's what it's looking like.
What I'm reading from the wiki is it says the flames are capable of burning anything and everything, including shadows, light, and even invisible concepts. So like it's that part that I'm talking about is that the blank is capable of everything else that they said. So I'm seeing that all of these like magics that they're getting like from the higher level demons have this capability to like eradicate the concept of things and just make that magic whatever the priority is, which is why I said it would like burn Mereoleona. Like she who would probably have an immunity to most fire magic would be burned by this because it's like they're calling it fire magic, but the concept is that it's like it's really this absolute concept that they're associating with it, which is that you can't.
But I mean like that. But I mean that technically, I mean the every gets violated simply by Asta though. So I mean that fact alone.
Well, that's because his shit is actually negating magic, but it also has
a demon's magic though.
Yeah, that underlying absolute concept, and I think that's why his shit is breaking them.
So now I got a question. What I want to ask you is, do you believe it is because like the nature, because like there are two things that matter in this world: the nature of your magic, and then like your amount of power. I think the reason that they can do these things is because their amount of power is so unbelievably high. Not because like if, for example, if they signed a contract with a loose nigga, that nigga wouldn't get fire that could burn Mereoleona. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's their magic's ability. I just think their power level just so high.
Yeah,
but I mean, I
definitely can agree with that. I can see it going either one of those ways, but I would probably lean more towards what you said of it's probably just like they're so weak right now, technically in comparison to their power level, that this is what happens. Almost like they need to, when they get to that next year, they'll be able to handle magic like this in a more reasonable way. But
I mean that concept would help out as far as on a lot of levels as far as the series goes, especially with plot development and like the next arc. Like as far as to it goes back to what I was saying is all of this attributing to simply what we need to see next as power level scales from all like the main characters that we're seeing, right? Yeah. So I mean, like based on that logic, then I would say that that actually gives more support to Mereoleona being good in the sense that though they can utilize a fire that can burn everything, as long as she can and she can get her body to get used to that too, she can at least get to a level where she doesn't get burned because that's the fire that she's using. So I don't know. I mean,
because that was the same trick. Because I just think they're going to keep running into this difficulty with these higher level demons. Because I don't know how to put the word to it, but I think you guys are getting what I'm saying. Where that they all have this like unconventional way of having to beat them. Like the word demon literally could just say like you niggas gonna die, and like that shit would happen, and they had to come up with this intricate plan to beat them. So as they run into these demons who basically have magic that has no boundaries.
You can't type them. You got to just bust their head.
Yeah, like it's going to be crazy on how they're able to actually beat them without Asta. Asta has had to be involved in every single one of these fights to actually defeat them so far. So it's going to be interesting to see how everyone else can pair up to actually win.
To be
when
fair,
it comes to a real demon.
They could have beat Zagrid without Asta because Yami dealt the killing blow with his
with the dimension magic.
Yeah. So I think more niggas probably would have died, but I think they could have won that one without Asta. In this case, I think these demons are so much higher level than anybody. Only Asta can do it because he just negate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
My hero?
Yes. And then we'll wrap it up with Goofies and MVPs. I I mean, what do we reveal? So those two guys are about to help out, right? The ones that were facing the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we might be maybe in the next chapter or a few chapters, we're gonna find out what their powers actually were.
Right.
Which I'm interested in.
A favorite thing. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my favorite thing about all these chapters that's been going on in My Hero is this one clip where he drew Deku as if he like didn't have a quirk, as if he just had a bunch of gadgets on, and they were telling him like stop, valuing these quirks, just use them like a gadget. Right. Like, yo, this is just a smoke bomb, you know what I'm saying, or some rope, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And it made me realize I would have liked this show way better if that nigga didn't get superpowers. He's just a fucking Batman ass nigga.
That's what's screwed up.
Because I'm like, everything about his fight with Muscular was raw except for the super punch. I was like, okay, super punch. Like, but all the ways he was using his quirk was dope.
Right. And I mean, I get that this like utility belt concept that they're like trying to create. My thing is just like, I'm ready to see it all come together, and like I'm not.
It's getting there.
Maybe I'll also ask it this way: do you guys feel like after this arc, you will feel like why Deku, like this is the arc to explain why he's the top hero? Like that, we're bringing it full circle with this arc. That stuff he started in the beginning of the show with of, hey, this is my story to get into the pinnacle. Do we feel like this arc is what's going to kind of, after we leave, cap that off?
It depends. I think that we going to learn that by the end. He did say this was the last act, which could be anything from, that could be 200 more chapters for all we know, right? Or it could be 20 more, you know what I'm saying? So like, I can't say in this arc. In this arc, he might just end up going back to school for all I know.
Right.
But, I think he's already top 10. Got it right now. Got to be top 10. And the way he body Muscular proves it.
Yeah, and I can feel that from the like. My thing is that like the gap he has to beat in terms of people in his current level of standing is not that. It's not that much to get there, right? Like Endeavor kind of disappointed us. So it's like once he kind of got all these powers, I was comfortable with the fact that like they can start selling that he's stronger than even them. My issue is just I keep going back to Prime All Might, and I think maybe I'm associated too many of those strength feats to what I see from Deku now. But that's the part where I kind of have a struggle with this new arc, because even though I feel like you could tell me at the end of this arc he's the strongest hero, and I probably believe you, my issue is comparison to All Might in his prime, I don't feel that yet from Deku. Like I don't feel that immeasurable, like he's unstoppable energy like you got when All Might showed up, even at the 6th stage. So that's where I'm kind of like, I don't know what they're gonna do to give me that feeling, even though he has way more utilities in his tool belt, and like he has probably maybe compared to All Might's age, maybe he has a better mastery of All for One, but I don't know if that was stated yet or not. But that's my, I think, gripe with this.
He don't. All Might said when he got it, he just instantly was strong.
Right. So that's my gripe with the stuff. It's just, I feel like in comparison to All Might, was who I'm really comparing him to, I'm not getting that I am here energy from Deku yet. I still feel like he can't take this all on by himself. Does that make sense? Where All Might, I feel like
all for one right now, he'll get work still.
Right. Yeah.
And that fight made me realize Muscular was actually pussy the whole time.
100%.
We would just see that Deku was trash. Like,
yeah.
That was now that I see him, I'm like, bro.
Like, for real, though. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I think Kirishima might knock your ass out, bro. Not Kirishima. Kirishima won't get knocked out by him, I should say. I can
eat a
Kirishima's. Yeah.
He could probably eat a Muscular punch.
I don't think Muscular punch stronger than Rapper punch.
You don't think so?
If I had to pick one to take, I'm taking Muscular, bro. I think Rapper is splitting you up. Like, do you think Muscular doing what Rapper did to Fat Gum? I don't.
I mean, he's got the consecutive punches, but as far as like the one strong blow, like you literally just got to get one punch.
One
Muscular coming in with the force. I don't know.
Bro, I
mean,
think Kirishima
besides
get
his
hit
focus
by
three.
Giganto Machia and keep his shield on. Rappa knocked that nigga shield up off him. I think Rappa hitting, bro.
Wow.
I
Yeah, I mean that'd be a good one to analyze.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I'm interested, but I don't know what. I have no perspective on it right now. I'm like, I can see it going either way, but my thing is Muscular's punch comes off more scary because of how unrefined it is. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, and I think that's why I'm leaning towards it's more punch like than Rappa's, because Rappa's is just a clean, fast, and that shit gonna hurt. It's a shot, like it's done. You might not even realize you're hit, type of thing.
You'll be KO before you know it.
Kirishima take? He only took like 1.5.
Of Rappa? No, dude. No, I thought Rappa had a
barrage.
Wait,
or was that
pause.
Fat Gum he was hitting with the
No.
barrage?
He was hitting Fat Gum a lot. I feel like Kirishima only took like one.
No way.
I could be tripping. I could be tripping on that. I'll admit that.
I don't remember.
I don't know, but I'm gonna stop bringing it up. It ain't what we talking about. Muscular was soft, but
yeah.
Moving forward, Deku, man.
I need more tools in the tool belt though. Like I get it. Danger sense. Like I said, I think I said this in the live stream. My only disappointment with the danger sense is it felt unnecessary. It felt like he was trying to explain away some like reader questions, which is like, oh, how would Deku know that there was danger in this area? But I feel like danger sense ends up raising more questions than it does answer questions, because I'm like, the entire city's in chaos. So is this a proximity danger sense where you're basically feeling it based off of like what's close? Question is like, how active is the danger sense? Because in my mind, All For One is the biggest threat, but obviously your shit is not going off all the time because All For One fucking exists, right? Like it sounds like it's coming from actual action. And then how does it weigh that against shit? Is it danger to Deku? Because he found out that they were in danger from the danger sense. So I'm like, it's basically also measuring like what other people are going on with. So I'm like, if 500 people are in a situation and 10 people are in a situation, is the danger sense going to vary based off that as well? I got some
idea about how that might work.
Right.
Once again, pulling from vigilantes. Understood, 2 separate writers, so there may be, issues that happen. So in vigilantes, All Might was in Tokyo, but he sensed danger in Osaka, which are opposite sides of Japan. Right. You know what I'm saying? So clearly it's not him being in danger. You know what I'm saying? He was able to sense other niggas in danger. And I think the same thing with Deku.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah. So like,
because he sensed that those two were in danger. My thing was like, chaos is happening all over the place. So that means was that the biggest? Yeah, that's what I'm like. Was that the biggest threat at the time? Which I'm kind of shocked at, because I'm like, I'm assuming like shit's going wild, like for real wild. I couldn't think that just those 2 heroes being in danger would be like the biggest priority in the danger sense's mind. But I could be wrong, because they said most of the people got, pulled to the shelters already. So
Muscular could probably one-shot kill any loose nigga out there. So he's definitely a danger. He's soft when it compared to like, hero top 10 heroes. But like any regular nigga get hit once, you're splattered across the concrete. Right. So I think that's a fair danger sense to pop up. But I mean, like, we know the biggest threat in the world is chilling right now. Yeah. All For One and Shigaraki. Everybody else is mild compared to them. Yep. I wonder who that one chick is that escaped. I wonder if we.
Yeah, like for real.
That's what I'm saying, though. The chick that I'm assuming has red hair or whatever. I thought she was from Vigilantes, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know. Man, if they have to deal with them niggas from Vigilantes, I feel like they would body them because the power scales in the 2 shows are completely different. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't think they would body them niggas because these niggas be making hard nigga choices. Yeah. Like, 6 would probably be like, yeah, you could beat me, but can you catch them bitches I just dropped off the roof? Like, they be making niggas make choices like, do you want to catch me or save lives, nigga? Yeah. Everybody just run up on Deku like, come on, put them up, nigga.
You're right. So I'm excited. Do you guys feel like we have any hints to what these new niggas' powers could be?
I feel like they're gonna be well, at a bare minimum, offensive. I don't have any like specifics at the moment, but considering they like low key introduced the smoke screen power, it's like okay, they want to like balance them out. Like the people already been like super pissed if he becomes too OP, blah blah blah. So like in that aspect, I'm like I'm glad too. But I feel like these last two are going to be one more offensive simply because of their costume. Of their actual style. I think they're more offensive, especially Buddy that was like super long to actually like warm up to Deku. I think he has like some pretty good offensive one.
And they wanted to murder All For One. That's the key information.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Dumb niggas like for the fact that they wanted to murder him, you ain't out here with a flower power. That's all they coming up with. Oh, I grow flowers from my hands. Like, no, you got some shit to bang with them.
Because by the way the world works, though, the older you get, the trasher your power should be. So, like, in theory, the coldest power should have been float, which probably was. Like, going backwards, these niggas' quirks should be ass.
I feel what you're saying. I feel the point that you're making, but
you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Let's say he has an offensive quirk, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
His offensive quirk has to be like super ass. Like, yeah, nigga, I shoot these mild bubbles at you that give you a skin irritation. it can't be that dope, or else they gonna break continuity. And so far, what we have seen is this man don't break continuity that often. You know what I'm saying?
Danger Sense homie was the fourth user,
and that was his quirk.
Was Bald homie before or after him?
He was the sixth user.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he was right before Nana Shimura, because it goes Bald nigga, Nana, All Might, Deku.
So then the question could be potentially we could be dealing with a reflexive ability, which you can argue would be weaker in comparison to value, because like this Danger Sense, depending on what context you put it in, it could be a shitty power or it could be dope, right? It's Spidey sense to a degree. Right. So like in a way it's super valuable, but I guess compared to like Black Whip, you might be able to argue Black Whip is a better quirk to have. So my thing is I could see something more reflexive, which would allow to go even more down the Spider-Man route, which is like now you have Danger Sense, but you can also react to it with some reflexive type of ability. Mm-hmm. I could see them giving him the OP-ness without it being so out front offensive that it breaks that continuity. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, like I think it would be strong simply because you can argue that though the other powers are useful, they don't have any physical power behind it, if that makes sense. Like all his physical power really stems from is just a culmination of everybody's like strength, right? If I'm remembering right. So like literally his power is just from the natural progress of just the quirk going from person to person. As far as quirks go, he hasn't gotten any power quirks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, well, Black Whip can be used offensively now. When the sixth user had it, it couldn't be used offensively, but Deku lifted up 2 cars with ease. Like you could smack a nigga with that. That point.
That's fair.
I mean, they could get something that's baby, but then it get boosted from All For One.
I would think maybe like some air control. Like, well, no, I mean he already did the physical air bullets, so I don't know. Maybe if they get it like more like matter related, you know what I mean? Like it's not just really air; it's something of like physical material that he can really shoot out, and like that can do something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But like something that can work in tandem with his physical strength, like literally like come together to fuse to be like that 1 + 1 = 3. Like something like that, I definitely see one of these kids having.
Yeah. Either way, I think at the very least, if they pigeonhole it, it's got to be powerful situationally. If they're playing off the utility belt thing, it might be shitty overall, but like extremely powerful situationally, so that it works with if I combine this with smokescreen, I'm the GOAT, like or some shit like that. Or if I use this in a particular situation that maybe only Tomura can create, it works, right? Like, you can't disintegrate my ass. Like sucks in general, but like against Tomura,
it'll be good.
Yeah, you catching dubs. So
I respect them niggas being like, hey man, we gotta kill this nigga.
Like, That shit was funny to me, and the fact that they didn't talk to him because of that. It was like, this goofy ass nigga think this is shonen. This is a shonen, bro. You just this motherfucker. No, bro. We're trying to turn this shit into some Attack on Titan joint. You gotta murk these. Hey,
bro. Because I'm like, bro, this nigga, like, I'm like, look at us. You see us? These are 8 dead niggas. You know how we died? The same nigga. That's like, he got 8 bodies, bro. That's a death sentence. At least kill this nigga.
That be the part that bothered me about shonen is they sometimes make villains seem like they can come back from horrible shit. Like when I was watching like the season finale of Invincible and I saw what Omni Man did, I'm like, one thing I know for sure is that even if he gets a heartfelt moment, he can never come back to this planet. Like he can't live here normally after what he just fucking did. So, but like with this shit with Tomura, destroyed all of Japan, many lives lost, blah, blah, blah. Shonen anime, they'll still find a way to just befriend that nigga at the end. Like, fuck? Like what?
Yeah, I'm going to throw this other thing out here. This is the worst time for Deku to gain 8 adults that can look at what he do all day, every day. My man just turned 16. You know what I'm saying? We know what was going down at 16.
They talking to him.
I'm like, can y'all leave me alone? Like, first of all, I got a bad bitch in my head.
No, come out here. No, let me talk to you.
And he pointed out, he was like, hey, All Might, why you ain't tell me your sensei was so cute? You already know what he on, boy. He get home eat.
Boy, he's like, Nana, I just gotta ask you some questions. Just he me tooing the fuck out of Nana. She just sitting there. He's like, yeah, just don't mind what I got going on here. I just wanted to ask you some stuff about the power, just the power. Yeah. So when you float, like, what does that feel like? Yeah, right.
You're crazy.
Yo, bro. Yeah. All I'm saying is, if I was any all for one user, one for all user. I'm the fourth nigga that decided to go train in the fucking forest, bro.
I love that nigga. I'm like, cause that's me. I'm like, wait. So now that I got this power, this nigga gonna try and kill me?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Forest.
I'm like, y'all know my power, right? I send shit and run away. I'm a big rabbit, nigga. Like, nah, I'm in the woods.
Right? Boxing shit and running the fuck away. That's it. Where y'all at? Nah, you good. That's the funny thing. I wonder how you passed that power on, because he must have just like met the nigga in the forest and was like, hey, bro, all right, you seem decent. Here you go. I'm ready to die now. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, with 0 friends, what did he decide, bro?
Right?
One last issue I want to bring up, I have a problem with. When these niggas were like, yo, Deku's going to be the last person. Last I checked, they were at 20% of people didn't have quirks. Like, bro, like, what? And both of Deku's parents had quirks. So we see that genetically, 2 niggas with quirks can make a kid without a quirk. What data do they have to show that there won't be kids with a quirks in the next generation? There should at least be 10%. At least 10%. And 10% out of the whole planet, what? That's 1 billion niggas? Like, come on. That's a lot of niggas to choose from.
Yep.
So that's all I wanted to say on that.
All right. Any other closing comments? If not, we'll wrap it up with some MVPs and Goofies.
No, we can wrap it up.
All right. So I'll kick my long list off.
Oh, wait, my bad. Actually, like one last thing. I did look it up just for the record. Kirishima did get a volley.
Oh, you got a volley?
I'm just going to let you know. Like, it was definitely not just one. But anyways, we can keep going.
So I'm gonna skip Magna as my MVP because I feel like niggas will put respect as time goes on for that nigga. Okay. Zoro, shout out to him. I'll make it quick. Just I also want to low-key give Goofy to Sanji, but I didn't put it on my list. But Zoro, honestly, for Wano being the arc for him, he got his respect, unlike Sanji. So I'll close it up there. Tokyo Revengers, I'm just glad it's an anime, so shout out to them. Battle Tiger, I'm still thinking about him whooping Mark's ass to this day, to this very day. So I just gotta give him MVP because my thing was like the way the whole battle went down was just crazy. Like Mark came in there with this backup. He thought he was gonna win. And the past few episodes of Invincible up until that point, they've been showing this like rage mode Mark, where like once he goes into his rage mode, he's able to like drop a few niggas and shit's cool. He did that, and Battle Tiger was like, that doesn't mean shit to me, and bodied his ass and then killed him. And then this like fake Justice League tried to save him. The funny part is that they avoided the fuck out of the Battle Tiger, bro. That nigga, and luckily that nigga didn't get involved. Like after he bodied Mark, he just watched as they beat the other niggas he was associated with, and he didn't even move his hand. Then they tried to run his fade. He bodied the fuck out of them and was like, y'all niggas is weak. I'm out. Like, that was the best entrance and exit. I might nominate him for MVP of the year just off that fight alone. So I got to give it to him.
Big nigga of the year for real.
Right. For sure. He deserves to be nominated for that.
That's energy. Walked in, slot niggas walked out, y'all soft.
Fully. So Goofy, I got to give it to Shonen Jump. One, because it looks like they canceled Bill King's and Phantom Seer. I spent time catching up to both. Well, Bill King's I was already caught up with. That's the Toriko's, whatever the fuck, same writer. And Phantom Seer was actually a pretty good series. But I don't think Shonen Jump gives niggas enough chapters. Like both of these ended around 30 chapters. I'm starting to think I'm starting to think you need at least 50. I'm starting to at least 50. That way, if you know it's like, tell them it's canceled at 30, give them 20 more to like really wrap it up. Because by 30, they just entered like their first arc in both of these series, and it's like then they just have to end it. And it's like they try to do that in 2 chapters. Versus if you gave them 20, they could at least go like, here's kind of where I was going. There's the end. Like, see you later. So I got to give them Goofy for that. Plus, like the shows they chose to keep compared to these two, I don't think were that great. Dante from Black Clover, I just gotta give him a Goofy just because, like, come on, bro. It's just your trend line is going down, bro. And Mark, because Mark should have known from day one he wasn't meant to be a hero. Like, he kept coming back to that shit, but then he kept doing like trying to live teenage life type shit. Like the whole trying to manage his relationship with this girl while being a superhero was like the dumbest thing ever, bro. Like you were never gonna win that battle. And then on the same time, you're fighting these battles and getting your ass whooped consistently. And you're not realizing, like, hey, maybe I should learn how to fight. Maybe I should ask my dad for some assistance. No, you just keep going out there getting your ass whooped. So he got to be Goofy for that.
He be good by the end of the day, shit. So he must like it.
Right?
He must like getting his ass whooped.
Some people be about that life, man.
It's like that motherfucker that's just not good at a sport, but they show up every day.
Oh yeah, that's him.
That's him.
Yes.
My dad said I gotta play superhero, y'all.
Right, the worst user of the Viltrumite powers.
Wow. Wait, so just for the record, like, does he really want to be a hero, or is he just trying to show out because of his dad?
He wants to be like his dad, kind of, and then it sort of becomes a debate of whether he wants to, but I wouldn't say it's like in his heart to be a hero. I think he feels responsible to be one because of his powers.
Yeah, like it's like he truly is the just most average nigga you can think of. Like he don't got no goals, no aspirations, and then just the nigga got superpowers and was like, bro, ain't shit else I'm good at. Like, might as well try this superhero thing.
Okay.
Oh, my bad. I honorable mention or MVP to like a demon homie that was also in Invincible. I just fucked with that nigga in general. Like, first of all, I liked his story. I could read a comic on him in general, like by itself. Like the fact that he's like a demon that came back and basically his redemption arc is solving mysteries.
I thought it was so cold.
I thought that was the coldest backstory ever. When they sent his ass back, I was hot. I was like, why the fuck would you send this nigga away, bro?
He the only nigga. That nigga, he knew Omni Man from the jump. That nigga, like, it was that nigga. Why you the only nigga alive, bro? He looked at that demon nigga like, bro, I'll kill you. He's like,
okay.
I know. I fuck with demon homie. He's like, look, bro, I'm not here because I want you to be in jail. I'm here because I gotta do these good deeds, my nigga. It was Omni Man. I fuck with demon homie, bro. He cool.
I'm telling you, I could just watch a series about him solving demon
crimes, bro.
He was a dick, but he was funny with it. And then, like, whenever he showed up, it would be that little cold air of breath and shit too. I thought it was dope. I liked him as a character, man.
Demon homie was good.
Yeah.
My MVP, just gonna give it to Yasuke, the anime. Just mad dope. Check it out again. I already talked about it. Don't gotta go hardcore. Goofy, we touched on it, but I gotta give it to Muscular. That's right.
Agreed. Double down.
I mean, it's like I'm on a little bit of the fence simply because it's slightly understandable. Like the reasoning as far as to why he got dropped so hard was to like show the progression of Deku. But it's like, bro, you got dropped so easy.
It's a must.
I mean,
it's a must.
it was like, my God, dude. I mean, like, there couldn't even be like a slight fight. It was just like, bro, I know how you work. Beep, beep, boop, you done. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Like all that clout, like all the bodies under your name, and just
instantly
like
drop.
I was just like, wow, you really were trashy trash from the jump, I guess. I don't know.
I'm assuming All Might in his prime, like Muscular was a lunch break, if that.
Yeah.
Like really?
Gotta be.
Oh, 100%.
He was like, yo, Muscular's doing dumb shit again. All right.
Coda parents had to be like the softest here. They quirk was probably spraying water on niggas.
So I mean, again, like his quirk is supposed to be mad decent. Like it makes sense why it would be mad decent. Yeah. All Might's presence, you can low-key say that's a reason that Muscular's quirk could be mad decent. Yeah. Just extra muscle mass. They'll be like, okay, like All Might can literally has a punch strong enough because it's a quirk has that, like, you know, muscle physical capability to be able to do that. So in a sense, you should be able to do that too.
It's like that nigga went from being like Bane in All Might's Rogue Gallery to being like Calendar Man. Like, oh, Muscular attacking. All right, let me beat this nigga.
Like he's definitely a pass off to the top 10 type of person. Like if All Might get a call about Muscular and like maybe he's kind of busy, he would be like, have Endeavor handle that nigga. Like you can definitely pass that off to anyone in the top 10. Well, most of the top half of the top 10.
I think any of them. I think even Dragon Lady fights that nigga.
Yeah, you could argue that.
You're not lying. Yeah,
you could argue that.
You're right.
Like she might have a lot harder job, but you know she gonna win.
She get it done.
Right.
Fist up to the sky at the end of the day, bro.
Right. Plus Ultra that.
Plus Ultra, nigga.
Plus Ultra Dragon, bro. Yeah. And then I had like one more slight Goofy, and that's just Big Mom. I just thought it was mad goofy how this chick just got cut out the main fight because she got dropped off a cloud.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I mean, I was just like, bro, really?
But she pulled out a new weapon from that, though, which I thought was dope.
That was interesting. I ain't gonna lie. But it was just like that easy. And like they used that as an opportunity to actually bring him over to the good side too. I was just like, bro, that's not happening. Like they did not just go that hard of a series, like a highlight of a series action scene to just like evolve like that. I was just like, wow, that's crazy. But no, she got to get some Goofy for that. Like that's ridiculous.
It wasn't for him.
My MVPs, Magna. We're gonna start with him. I mean, like, bro, if we gotta contemplate creating a new award, Redemption Rock Lee for this nigga, like, come on, that's enough right there.
We had that come up character. That was inspired off the Rock Lee type of vibes.
Right, okay.
But it might justify a whole new award though.
Yeah, bro, my man Magna, he there, bro. Like, I got respect on this nigga. He don't have to increase no more throughout the series. And I'm good.
Low-key, I mean, considering the power, they might have captain like this. Like, based on what it is.
And the other person I got to give my MVP to is Deku, is because I've been saying this since the start of My Hero. I never liked Deku's powers. I always liked his, like, stratting. And I think that, like, there was this one, like, line that they focused on when he beat Muscular. It's like, hey, bro, don't rely on your powers. Rely on your quirk, which is knowing how niggas' powers work. And he used that more, at least the way they wrote it, more than the powers themselves to body that nigga. And that makes me feel good because I want to see strats. I don't really give a fuck about his powers. But Deku finally, I think this might be my first Deku MVP. Fuck. Bum ass nigga. So
gotta add that on there.
Yeah, I got to. I gotta let him know what's up. Till he stopped crying. He a bum. The crying hero, Deku's here. Like, my Goofy. First, I'm gonna go to Fate Cap. What's his name? John Walker.
He doesn't even deserve his name to be called out, bro.
Wow.
Fuck him, bro.
I'm not gonna give him Goofy for being Captain America. I think that while he was actually Captain America, he did as good as any reasonable American can do. And honestly, Bucky and Falcon really gatekept and like hold that man.
Really?
When they relieved him of the shield, that's some goofy ass shit. That's some school shooter ass shit.
It wasn't
go make your own dirty ass little shit.
They took that shit, son.
They beat that nigga ass.
Relieve him.
And he came back with this Home Depot ass, shed metal ass shield. Talking about
it's not even vibranium?
No, nigga. That shit was shed metal. They bent that shit up. Oh, my bad. You ain't get to them. Boy, they beat that that shit regular metal, nigga. And it looked like it by the end of the fight scene, that shit was like, why did you bring this out here?
Right? You know who you're going against?
It was so cringy. Like to make that. If bro, like, and I know his nigga Lamar looking up from heaven like, dog. No, you did not just bring that Home Depot ass shield out here on national TV, nigga.
Wow.
If this was real life, the memes that would get made about this nigga would be crazy.
Oh yeah.
John Walker came out after he'd been relieved of his title with that bum ass shit. I ain't gonna even go into it. It was a shame. Fucking shame, bro. You should just came out with a Glock, nigga. Like, and then my second Goofy is I don't even remember her name.
Amber.
But, Invincible's girlfriend. You remember her name?
I think it's Amber.
Amber. Oh my god. It was very accurate for how stupid teenagers are, but it was so dumb. Like Invincible, like, yeah, you know, doing the whole superhero thing. She wondering where he at. Finally gets to the point, he like, all right, I'm invincible. And she go, I knew.
Right.
I'm like, so bitch, why are you fucking sweating me then?
Right. No, there was two issues for me with that too. One was that she said, one, I understood that, but that didn't make you should have told me. Basically, like, I just met you, we just started dating, and I'm gonna tell you that I'm a fucking superhero. I'm like, for her to expect that was so out of pocket. I was like, why did they make this a black woman, bro? That should have been a white shit. Yeah. I was so happy for the interracial relationship. I'm like, why did they make this a black woman? Because that shit was goofy as hell. That came on her mouth. And then the other part was, what did she say? She said some shit of like, even though you were a superhero, you basically should have still prioritized me, which I also was like, that's also dumb. But I understood it from the fact that like he wasn't a great superhero. Like, nigga, you should have put that shit up. So I was like, at the same point, yeah, like he was getting his ass beat every day. So it was like, nigga, you out here like missing the day with me, but you getting your ass beat, like you're not even saving the day. I can understand that to a degree.
Bro, so if she was this man's wife, I would understand every argument. Like, hey, MGG, you can't be out here saving the world. I'm still your wife. We still need time together. I'm like, hey, bro, not gonna lie, that's kind of true. It is a relationship. Hey, you should have told me you was a hero. If this is your whole wife,
yeah,
she making facts. If they didn't just get together on a high school relationship a couple days ago, I'm like, you want my social security number too?
Right? Like, yo.
No sense. Made none.
Big tripping.
Oh,
yeah. It was horrible. She's stupid. But that's it. That's all I got. Let's end it on that. She's stupid.
All right. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning into another episode. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube if you're listening to this on the audio platforms. I don't know. Make sure you do whatever you do on that one. But we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
All right. Until next time.